Let's not do that.
No.
This could go up to...
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our hangout with Classic Alice. We're here to celebrate them reaching $10,000 on their Indiegogo, which they're running right now, which is awesome. And we're going to Q&A and have fun and chat. So we're here already with Kate and Chris and Tony.
Hi.
Which if you don't watch the show, which would be weird if you're watching this, but obviously Chris plays Ewan, Kate writes the show and plays Alice, and Tony plays Andrew. We're hoping to get Elise in. She's having a little bit of technical difficulty, but if her computer starts cooperating, she'll be coming in. And then we also have Josh with us. You probably don't know, Josh is the director of the show, so he has a very important role and takes what Kate writes and makes it beautimous. Awesome. We are going to be bringing in you guys live to come in and ask your questions. We have a few people on the way. To do that, it's really, really simple. All you have to do is go on Twitter and tweet Join Alice. We like it if you ask a question when you tweet so we know what you want to talk about. But yeah, just tweet us at Join Alice, and you have to follow at the Seahorses, and we'll send you a DM to be able to come in here. It'll be great, super fun. If you don't want to join but you still have questions, just ask in the YouTube comments, or you can tweet us, the Seahorses. Use the hashtag SaveAlice, and we're monitoring that as well throughout the whole stream. So cool. Hello, Kate.
Hi.
How are you guys?
Good. I'm just looking at Josh's picture, and I'm realizing that this is exactly how he directs us when we're on set. He talks to us through a little screen, and his face is half lit. So you guys are actually getting the same treatment that we get on set. So pretty exclusive stuff, guys.
Excellent.
Josh loves...
No, nothing.
Josh loves dramatic lighting, but only for himself.
Yeah, the show is like super bright.
Yeah.
It's not.
So my first question, which I think is a great kind of lead in here, is how did everybody get connected with the show? Like, how did Josh get involved? Kate, what was your original inspiration? How did you find Chris and Tony, etc.?
Oh, Elise is here.
Oh, Elise.
Hey!
In a second, maybe. We'll give her a minute.
She's muted.
Elise.
I wrote it, so that's how I got involved.
Yeah, but what was the inspiration?
I was asked to write something for another channel, and they originally asked me like to do a hosting thing, and I was like, no. And so I asked if I could make a narrative, kind of go through it, and they said, well, what do you mean? And I said, you tell it like a vlog, so you'd still be doing it on the cheap. And they said, okay. So I went and I wrote it, and they loved it, and then the company itself went in another direction, like they went off to do other things, so I took the show, and I decided to make it myself. Boom.
What is Elise doing?
I don't know. Elise, what are you doing? Are we doing our hair right now?
You have to unmute yourself when you join, Elise. Click on the little microphone with the line through it in the bottom of your picture.
We've got it
I
covered.
know that. I was just listening intently.
Appreciate Kate's answer, Christopher O'Brien.
Sorry. I got involved basically through Twitter, actually.
Yeah.
That's how Kate and I were connected, and then we met up for breakfast one day, and we talked and chatted, and then she invited me to audition for Ewing. But I was away working on another project in Texas at the time, so I had to like self-record and send in my auditions. I ended up sending in like 25 of them, which was totally unnecessary because she was like happy with me after the first one. But I just kept sending them.
He's still sending them. He won't stop.
Yeah, well,
I'm still getting them.
I'm really serious about my craft. I think I could just always be better. So I don't want to just stop at 200 auditions for the part that I've already been cast in. I want to keep going and see what else I can discover. So that's how I got involved.
He still sends audition tapes in weekly.
Yeah.
So.
I emailed you one this morning.
I know.
Excellent.
I'm auditioning for Andrew too.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's a secret.
Wait, sorry. Oh.
What is going on?
Sarah, Chris.
Are you serious right now?
Completely.
He's got the plan.
I mean, obviously you got the part, Tony.
I don't know anymore. I mean, he's still auditioning, so he doesn't even know if he's got his role. He's got my role now.
I can't. Can you muss your hair up to look more like Tony again?
That is not what my hair looks like.
We'll get it. We'll get there. That's the one thing keeping him from this role.
It's just the hair. That's all. That's the only difference.
That's all you're bringing.
You're like Samson. Your talent's in your hair. Every time you cut it, you get worse at the part.
That's fair. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, you're welcome. Love you, buddy.
Well, I got involved with Kate not because of my hair, but because of a mutual. The fencing studio I work at in Burbank, Swordplay. Another instructor there named Ariel is a good friend of Kate's, and Kate, I guess, reached out to Ariel and was saying, "Hey, I'm casting for a role." And Ariel was like, "I know the perfect guy," and so we met. And then Kate shoved the script into my hand.
Because you didn't print it like a responsible actor.
You didn't say.
It was 6 pages.
So I didn't receive any sides before we met.
That's not true.
That is so true. She handed me
true.
the sides when I met her, and then sat there and watched me intently read all the sides, and then said, "Okay, you ready? Go. Let's do this." And then, you know,
It's not quite.
that's exactly what happened. And I opened my mouth, and she was like, "Okay, for Andrew."
You didn't even say anything. You just went,
No, I was like, and she was like, "Done. Cast. What are you doing next week?"
I have to see if this would work for me at some auditions. Just walk in the room, say nothing.
It's gotten me a callback before.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's it?
No, it's for a toothbrush commercial, all right?
Someone's asking a question. Who's the answer?
No, Kate, don't worry about that.
Okay.
Don't worry about that.
Ignore our guest.
Okay, let's
Don't worry, Kate.
over to Elise.
Who's still trying to figure this out, guys.
That's okay.
It's gonna be fine.
How did you end up getting involved with the show?
I actually knew Kate through a mutual friend, Kyle Walters from New Peter and Wendy. Actually, am I breaking up?
No.
Yeah, you're good.
I feel like I'm roboting right
Peter
now.
and Wendy, another great show, if you like it.
Yeah, another great show. And so I met her through that, just like socially. And then once she started writing it, she just kind of called us like, "Hi, do you want to be my roommate?" And it kind of worked out. Sorry, mine doesn't involve long audition stories. Like,
and
Sorry, guys.
I got to help Elise out. Oh, good.
Yay! It's fine, guys. I'm just on the slow track right now. I'm also on a lot of cold medicine, so I'm usually smarter than this. Just want to throw that one out.
Okay, and then Josh.
So I've known Kate a long time. For several years, we were just friends. And then one day I got a phone call from her saying, "I'm going to make this web series. It's not going to take a whole lot of time. We're just going to shoot these 6 episodes. And it'll be really easy. And you don't have to hardly do anything. You just have to show up and make a movie with me." And I was like, "That sounds wonderful." And I read the script, and I liked it. I was like, "I feel like we should recast Alice." I was like, "That's my thing." And then we made the show together.
Awesome. I'm gonna caveat for another one. Somebody's echoing.
Yes.
I think it is.
Some of these volumes like crank up.
Probably me.
Mine's not.
It's me?
You have this problem.
It's not us.
I'm checking all. I have 3 electronics on this now, so maybe.
Okay, it's okay right now.
The moral of the story is that Kate is kind of like the Red Power Ranger, and she assembled a team
No.
that
Nope.
would help defeat
This is not how that
and
happened.
protect Earth
Nope.
from evil aliens,
They were acquired simultaneously
large
by
insects,
Zordon.
and
Not
several
Zordon.
different types of
Yeah,
creatures.
Zordon.
So if you look at
It's
it
like
that
an
way,
Avengers movie, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
and
you get
she's
one at a
like
time.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. Just
Oh.
like him.
Assembled
Just like him.
Okay.
in every way possible. There's no difference between Kate and Samuel L. Jackson whatsoever.
I'm gonna have to agree with you. I'm gonna say you need an eye patch, and we need to start calling you Captain Fury.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump into some other questions because I've got a lot of really great stuff coming in. We've got Anna and Bex with us. Hey guys.
Hey.
You guys are gonna have to unmute yourself.
Ugh.
Woohoo!
Oh, the people who joined.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I got muted again.
Hey!
Hello.
Hello!
Wow, look at those headphones.
Yeah, they're a bit serious, aren't they?
So Anna, if you want to start out with your question, that'll be awesome. Hello. Anna.
Anna.
We'll switch over.
This question is for Kate. Did you read all of the books before choosing them, or did you have to find books that would work with where you wanted the story to go?
Kind of both. I know all the stories already, so if they fit, like I know just a lot of classic books already, so if I kind of go through my like, all right, well, what would fit, what would not fit. Sometimes there's a book that I like super duper love, and it's just not gonna make it. Like there are a couple of books that I've trashed. Yeah, I've got them like I use Scrivener, and I've got them. There's a little folder of like sad, unused books. So it's a trial and error.
There's just a pile of unused.
No, there's like a folder in the program, and it says nope.
Because it won't work, or
Yeah.
because you don't have the chance to make
Because
it.
it's just not. They don't fit where we're going.
A follow-up kind of related question that we got in from Twitter from Devra is, what non-public domain books, Kate, do you just really wish you could use on this show, but you can't because they're copyrighted?
Anything William Styron and Gatsby would be good.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, all right. Game
It's
of
true, it's
Thrones.
not in the public domain.
Not Gatsby.
Huh.
They've got like claws in that book.
That's crazy.
Some of his stuff is, but not that one.
Sound and Fury.
Although Beautiful and the Damned would be really cool.
What else?
I mean,
How to play guitar for dummies.
yeah, that Alice picks up a guitar twice to
Uh-huh.
learn.
I'd like to do that.
That's pretty straightforward adaptation, I think.
Yeah, it's a little bit literal.
Into the Wild is the one where they got the guy who walks out into the middle of the wilderness and then dies.
Yeah,
I think that'd be a good one to try to adapt.
I'd like to do that one as well.
I really hate
Every
that.
character on the show dies.
That would be cool.
Uh,
We can work that in.
Kate was talking about Twilight. She's really into wanting to recreate vampires and werewolves battling over her heart.
So would I be, as you, would I be a vampire or a werewolf?
Can you be a werewolf, wouldn't you?
Yeah, because I transform into something
What?
else. But a
Yeah,
vampire's
yeah,
always a
yeah.
vampire.
No, I'm totally the werewolf in this
Sorry,
situation.
dude.
No, you're a vampire.
It's the hair.
You're gonna sparkle.
No!
Shani's a lot hairier. He would definitely be the werewolf.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
It's not about who has more hair or where they have it. It's about
Kind of exactly about that, actually.
That's the log line of our show.
what
Not about how much hair you have.
or where you have it.
Aaron, you didn't think your question would lead to those answers.
I really did, but it's a nice flow. Whatever.
She does not know how to back.
Reel it in, reel it in.
Yeah.
I'm just, sometimes I like to see how far you'll get on certain
You're
topics.
gonna go pretty far.
Well,
Like pull him back before he starts working blue.
we won't stop.
No, I know.
Well, we'll go ahead and go over. So we met Anna. Oh gosh, and she left already. She didn't have to.
Anna.
That's
Purple hat on.
I miss her. I know her on
Yeah,
Twitter.
that's
So we'll go over to Bex. Bex, you don't
There
have
she
to
is.
away. That's
Hello.
privately.
Well, I'm muted. I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
Perfect. Yeah. So if you
Hey!
introduce yourself, ask
Brilliant.
your question.
Well, I'm
Cool.
looking at
I guess. My question is, what are the sort of the biggest lessons you learned and the challenges you had to face in order and while you were making the series? So any you knew about before, and then some others that just appeared.
don't
everyone.
Photoshop Tony's hair onto Brent Bailey's body while Brent Bailey is kissing you. It's probably the biggest lesson.
Wow.
Don't let Becca.
So specific.
That's very specific.
Not a good idea. You guys answered this really much better than I did on that interview.
Yeah, we had an interview with
Yeah.
Bandamania recently.
They asked us that
They asked a
question.
pretty similar question. What I learned a lot about how like there are sort of different groups of people in the world of anytime like there's content, right? Whether it's a TV show or a movie or a web series or whatever. So you have like the creators and then these participants, so people like me who's an actor in it or whatever, and then there's the audience. But what's really cool about the sort of new media, the YouTube world and everything is that these things sometimes overlap a little bit. And so I was really excited, especially early on, to like join in the conversations that fans were having. But then I realized that maybe that's not my place to do that. Maybe it actually takes something away from them and their experience if I'm too involved in the way that they talk about and respond and talk back to the way that we're speaking to them as, you know, people making content and being part of content. And so I had to do a lot of thinking about that and reconsider. It sucks because I am so excited to talk about it. But
Picture you like sitting in the dark in your house, like
Yep.
really just reflecting on your.
yeah, and I had talked to some people on Tumblr and they were like, "Whoa, hey, we don't need your opinion. we're having a private conversation
In public.
about."
That's definitely a very delicate balance to walk, especially with how.
So I told them going into it, like, I don't care. I'm not policing them. You know, I know what I've chosen to address or ignore as far as like talking to fans or clearing matters up or whatever. But I told the actors and the I guess Josh as well. Like, it's your internet. Like, you're gonna do whatever you're gonna do. I don't want to like pop in and be like, take that photo down because I don't care. So, you know, I don't think an actor saying, "Hey, I played this character. I know what the deal is. Here's what I thought," is in any way, you know, a negative thing. But that's my opinion, and
I don't know. I don't necessarily think it's a negative thing either. It's just been interesting because I've never had to consider what joining in that conversation might do to the conversation itself, how it might affect an audience's enjoyment in participating in what we've done that way. So it's just interesting. That's all. And I've thought about it a lot, and I think I've learned a lot.
So little, like, really, really, really bothers me in general. So I'm kind of like, go.
I don't get out of bed unless in genocide, really.
Yeah.
In terms of things that bother me.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Rampant sexism, that kind of thing. People saying stuff on the internet that's kind of like,
Right.
What about you, Tony? What have you learned?
I don't know. You pretty much nailed everything I was going to say. What did I write down in the...
Likely story.
You were very genuine in that entire thing, and I was like,
I was.
gross barf.
I really thought about this question, guys. I can't remember what I wrote down.
I think you learned, like, how... Oh, I think it's something like, the whole thing's been a learning process or something. Like,
It was something great, wasn't it?
Alright.
Yeah, I mean, it's with this show, like Chris and Kay were just saying, just learning a lot about how it feels like you're creating a story with your audience, not only in the content, because when we were releasing like testimonials and with the podcasts, it's such a like testimonial videos that we were doing.
Like the talking at the confessional.
Seeing kind of what works and what doesn't work with the audience, and then just sort of gauging and adjusting on that. I don't know. It's been fun. I guess I've learned to. What have I learned?
I don't think you've learned anything.
You've definitely learned how to on the fly a lot better.
I think you've learned how to say museum properly. At
That's
this
true.
Point, that lesson has been.
How did he used to say?
Apparently, I said it with two E's instead of museum.
I promise I wouldn't make fun of him for that anymore. So.
That's it now.
I did not make that promise.
Elise or Josh, do you have anything to add in to lessons, challenges?
Stuff that we learned. I mean, I wasn't really that active on Twitter before we started this project, so that was definitely something for me. And yeah, it's a very unique way of telling a story where the audience can have say while the story is happening, and that's just really unique. So it's just been interesting.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool to watch. Like, oh, I'm sorry, Josh. Josh, talk.
Way to go.
No, this is great.
Like on set.
I've learned a lot on this process too. Mostly that it's possible to make like a feature film in 6 days, which is absurd.
Blimey.
Because that's
Uh-oh.
Kind of like froze mid-sentence.
Froze and muted.
To continue on with
Classic
That
Josh.
was impressive.
we shot, what, over 120 pages of scripts.
More than that because of the confessionals, which are a surprise to me.
Yeah, so we shot maybe like 160 pages of script in 6 days. So that's easily the length of a feature
Yeah, that's
film.
crazy town.
And more.
I mean, if you look at the videos, we've got like something like over 70 videos, and the first 6 were like 30 minutes. So the rest of it, the rest would be like 3.5 hour, 4 hour, however long it is, playlist.
That's all season 2.
Yeah. So it's probably like 2-ish hours without the like weird, extra videos. 2, 3.5. So yeah, that's a long movie. We should be up for an Oscar.
Yes, and an Emmy.
Sorry, guys.
Definitely. Well, we've got Josh trying to come back in. I'm going to backtrack slightly really fast here because we had a follow-up question come in about your book folder, Kate, the Nope Sad Face book folder. They want to know what books are in there, if you feel comfortable sharing.
Huck Finn wound up in there. I outlined that. It didn't work. Actually, the Jumping Frog wound up in there too. There's a lot.
If you give a mouse a cookie,
Mm-hmm.
that ended up in
I was disappointed that ended up in the no folder.
Yeah.
So,
In which Alice just gives Kara a cookie, and that's the entire.
But then you asked for a glass of milk, and then
Tony knows this.
Pie.
I
Most likely pie is in there somewhere.
Hopefully.
would be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, this is a crappy answer, but those were the 2 that I could, 3 that I could think of off the top of my head. I'm sure there are other ones.
Are any of the books in that folder books that you would maybe revisit in future?
Why I'm like, which ones do I not care about?
So some of those in the note might get moved to yes.
Yeah.
What you're saying. Yeah. Okay. But not Huck Finn.
Actually, one of them did get moved. One of them did just got moved from. It was a consideration last season, and I moved it into this one. So if we get funded, that will be a resurrected Nope.
Awesome. Very cool. I don't know what happened, Josh. He tried to come back in and then we lost him.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. This poor guy had one thing to share.
Josh is very cool. You just don't see him as much as you see these faces. Just to be clear.
Yeah. He's very mysterious. He's like a unicorn.
Direct
Hard to hold up, but pretty magical.
I'm going to jump into some of the Twitter questions we're getting in. Kay wants to know, from Wind in the Willows, Kate, was the belly bling real or not real?
It was not real, but the story was kind of real. When I was in college, underage, so I don't know how I did this, I was like, I'm going to get a belly button ring. And it wasn't rebellious at all because I think I called my mom. I was like, I'm doing this! And she was like, why? So I went and I did it. and immediately was like, I don't need this. So I took it out almost a week, like not even a week later. I was like, I'm done. Rebellion over.
Was that your biggest act of rebellion as a child?
That was the only one. Yeah, I don't think I've done anything like more wild. That was it.
Okay.
Yeah. End story.
Do you have any piercings?
Me?
Uh-huh.
No. No
You
piercing.
don't.
Anybody else?
No.
No piercings, Tony?
No piercings, no tattoos.
Yeah, me too. Plain skin.
Which I would have thought like one tattoo somewhere for you.
I mean,
If I had to.
Everything wrapped around his bicep.
Yes, exactly.
what?
No, I would
Why?
not expect Tony to have that. I would
I would
expect him
have
to have
had
like
something
a.
like maybe like
No, I think he'd have like a Jack Johnson tattoo right in the back of his calf. But
Well, you guys would know if I had a tattoo on my waist or above because you've seen everything pretty much, for the most
Yeah, we
part.
have.
So,
For the most part, is there
because they haven't seen my back.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, we did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then
the
back video.
video Andrew never wanted you to see.
Actually, I want to get the classic Alice logo tattooed on my calf.
Do you want a cartoon picture of
Yeah.
me on your body?
Yeah.
Weird.
Reading like
Yeah, just reading and happy, you know.
Josh says he is sorry and he has to leave at 5 anyway. So
Okay.
we'll
Well,
never know the answer to this question.
that's
No.
all you get of the mysterious Josh.
Josh is like our Nathan.
kind of
Josh is our Nathan.
in so many ways.
Speaking of Nathan,
Nathan. Yeah.
Okay. We actually have a question. Who wants to know, is there really a Nathan?
That's an interesting question, and I'm not going to answer it because I want you to think about it. It's more fun for you to like question it.
I'm confused. Do you mean like are the characters hallucinating the character of Nathan?
Yeah. Is that
It's
like a fight club scenario?
Nathan, and I think that's
That's so interesting.
I know, right? So you guys, that's for you. Don't take that from yourselves. Keep it.
That's the beauty of the character, though, right? Like, not giving any concrete answer to it, but it's interesting because it inspires a question like that, or possibilities like that there's this other level to the storytelling that involves you, because, in a way...
I mean, clearly there's a Nathan. We saw his arm.
You saw
He's
his
a
arm.
person. He's not...
Yeah, but when you play first person, you see your hands and the gun, but they're not my hands holding a gun, and I'm still controlling that character, so...
Food for thought.
Alice.
Another question that was kind of in that Phantomania interview that we answered.
Oh, yeah.
Will we ever see Nathan?
Yeah.
Was the question.
And we all ignored it. We were like,
Different ways.
So, again, follow-up questions about Nathan, because we've got several.
people like,
Where did he come from?
Where did he come from? Like, is that like where was he from, or?
Probably, okay, I'm going to take this two ways. One, the idea for him, and two, in world, how did Andrew end up finding?
All right, so the idea for Nathan came about because we wanted to be able to have Tony on screen with me, but still have the camera move. So I thought it would be funny for our like undergraduate, schmo to have an intern. I just thought it would be entertaining. And
We've talked about my characters many times, and you've never referenced them as an undergraduate schmo.
I couldn't think of another word. But I just thought it would be really funny for him, it's kind of ridiculous. And I think Alice says at some point, she's like, what? Why do you have an intern? And we kind of gloss over it because I think that's funny too, that he's just like, this is our reality. So, I don't know. I thought it was funny is really why. And it was just a way for us to be able to move the camera around so we weren't locked into that one shot all the time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was the, there was like two parts to this. And then the other one was like,
Where did he come from in world?
where does he come from? They're friends, I guess. I don't know.
They're in the same program.
Yeah, Nathan went up to him.
What? year is Nathan in your head? Like if Andrew is a senior,
Yeah.
how long has Nathan been at school?
I think he's a sophomore. I think that makes sense.
He's Colin Creevy.
He's just like a little weirdo. I mean, you can't. It's such an odd. He's so weird.
Colin.
I think he's like the shortest person. Also, for some reason, like I don't know why, but I just imagine him being like just a tiny human being.
Yeah.
Like not even.
That's how I've
real.
always pictured him.
Nathan.
Like
I
a
always-
Dobby the elf kind of
Kinda,
person.
yeah.
Right?
Dobby. He like snuck up behind Andrew in like the film equipment room. Like,
Do you want an intern?
hello, can I help you?
No, give me a sock.
Why does he have an accent too, though?
I don't know. Dobby sings. I just like the little elf from Harry Potter. It's British to me. I don't know.
They're gonna take that and like this is canon now.
Yep.
He's Dobby.
We call him Nathan to protect his identity.
It was really Dobby post Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got distracted.
I get distracted too because I noticed that Kate has every season of Gilmore Girls on DVD.
I do too, Chris.
Go into Gilmore Girls right now.
You wanna watch them later?
Someone
Let's just
say.
all stop hanging out
You can watch them too, Tony.
and bring up the rules.
You would enjoy it.
Okay, so I want to just finish out some of this Nathan context because people are a big fan of Nathan. I feel like.
So weird. It's just a surprise to me. Like this
Does it
character.
surprise you that people are a big fan of Nathan?
Yeah. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah. So we know that he at least had one other friend who apparently hasn't seen him in 3 months from that one episode. Does he have, like, did he have a life before he came and started working for Andrew? Like,
You guys are so creative. I feel like I don't want to like.
I
you don't
remember.
know everything about him.
I remember when I used to do some theater back home, we'd have like talkbacks after some shows, and audience members would constantly ask questions. And not that there's anything wrong with these questions, but they'd constantly ask like, okay, so like what happens to the characters after the play is done?
Yeah.
And there's no real, like I can give you my guesses, my opinions. There's no real way to answer that. But what one of the directors I worked with answered once, and I always love this, he says, what happens is you go home and you talk about the characters. Like that's what happens to them. So like we've done our part of telling that story, however much we've done so far. So what happened? It really is. This is like your opportunity for it to be up to you until more information comes out, and like that's really fun. I always like that answer that he gave. So like,
I mean,
I know you have ideas, especially being a creator.
I can't. I don't want to answer like at all because anything I say, it's like, well, that's what's going on. They can answer. You guys can speculate. Speculate away.
He's like, I mean,
See?
I don't know though. I really don't, and I wouldn't want to say something and then someone's like, well, Chris O'Brien said it in this interview, so
And
therefore, like,
he's part of it. So
now I'm involved. Now I'm responsible for like telling people they're wrong, and I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. Now you're a jackass.
Now I already was kind of.
So basically, you're saying you want Nathan to be whatever the audience.
Nathan is whatever the audience.
She
kinda
is
wants.
trying so hard to put words in your mouth. She just wants
I
you
know.
to.
No, I'm clarifying the answer.
Nathan is deliberately an enigma, and I don't want to ruin that.
Okay. All right. Solid. We're gonna go ahead and go to. I really hope I say your name right. Mayu. Mayu. Because it's very late for her. So we're gonna let her come in and ask her question if she is ready.
Cool.
We're bringing in some new fans. If you guys, while I'm waiting for her to kind of get caught up, if people want to come in and be with us here, chatting and talking, remember, just tweet #JoinAlice. You have to follow @TheSeahorses, and we'll give you a link. So check your DMs, and you'll be able to kind of go through a process to get to come in here, and it'll be super fun and awesome. Okay, are you ready? I like snuck attack you.
She's here, but she needs to unmute herself. She needs to click the little.
Thank you, Christopher O'Brien, for reading every single thing in our chat. You don't have to read those.
What?
Christian.
That's like behind the
No,
scenes.
I was trying to be a helpful.
Those are the secrets. How this hangout runs smoothly. Okay, well, I'm gonna actually since she's taken a minute, And I have a really good follow-up about Kate. You were saying that the response to Nathan really surprised you from the fan. Felicity Disco is asking on Twitter, is there anything else that just the audience responded in a way that totally surprised you, just very unexpected?
Oh, I'm sure.
The sexual attraction to Ewan when he was first introduced surprised me a lot. Because like we went out of our way to make him unattractive, to make me unattractive.
It's just a really hard thing to do, Chris.
Huh?
It's really hard to make you unattractive.
Yeah, that was a surprise. What surprised you?
When you got into your car accident and the fans immediately assumed that you had died in some terrible, tragic way, and that was the end of the show. And it was just because of the scene with Reed and myself where it was like, where's Alice?
I love
And they took that and they ran with it, like, in all sorts of directions.
I saw like these weird like gift sets on Tumblr, and it's like AU whatever, where it's like they just took like gifs of you alone in front of the camera.
Oh yeah.
Times, but like made it black and white and like changed the
That was
subtitles, so it's like
weird.
you talking about Alice dead.
There was a video of that, and that was like an in memoriam Oscar video
I didn't
type
see
of
the
thing.
video.
But it's my face, so I was like, I don't know.
That's weird.
That was a surprise. At least, what was your surprise?
Just how closely people notice things, like if a necklace changes or if something in the background changes slightly because we ran into it during a take and people noticed that. That always surprised me a lot, I guess. But storyline-wise, I'm having a hard time remembering. I was just trying to scroll through some stuff to look.
No, right?
I think there was one testimonial that I had where I just kind of was like, oh my god, just make out with each other's faces, and all of a sudden everybody made me the captain of a ship. That was fun.
For me, I think my surprises are always that it seems like this, like when Alice and Andrew have arguments or disagreements, especially in that first season, everybody sides with him, and I'm like, whoa, what? Because it just doesn't seem that unreasonable, like her being upset with him or whatever. Like, but the division is very clear, and it is on Andrew's side always. Like, oh.
It must be weird too.
No, but there was some anger when he kind of went to kiss her once, and a lot of people reacted very strongly that he had terrible timing, and I find that very interesting because I felt like he'd been very patient up to that point.
Me too. I thought so too. And it's not like I wasn't like...
But I also think that with regard to what you're talking about, especially in the first season, the audience is also rooting for Alice, and they see that Andrew is trying to break her open and trying to...
That's a weird...
I'm sorry, like break her shell, get her break her. Thank you.
Yeah.
And so they're thank you, Elise. So they are sort of cheering for Alice through Andrew, and that's probably why they decided.
Yeah.
That's how
It just, I don't know. Especially like a guy. The first season was the one where it really stuck out to me. A guy saving you without you asking or need, like, that's really belittling to me. Like, that would bug me. And the reaction was like, oh, he's so romantic, like he's taking care of her. And I was like, what? I just didn't agree with, like everybody's different, so I don't know.
I think a lot of that depends on your own life experience.
Yeah.
With it triggers a nice or bad thing.
Her being irrational is kind of where I was like, what? It wasn't intended to be him doing something really nice and her just being angry. It was intended to be a showing a character flaw of his and her rejecting him for that flaw, if that makes sense. But it didn't happen that way, so whatever.
This is why, as an English bachelor's of arts, we a BA in English, we always talk about how like discussing authorial intent is not always helpful. I don't know. I was trying to work that together. But it's funny because like, you obviously intended to come across someone who can never control how the audience will respond.
That's okay, right.
Again, back to your point about how this is sort of, we're making a story with the audience, whether we are realizing it or not. we're creating something, it bounces back when we see, the reaction from them, and so we tailor something a certain way.
No, I don't.
So
I don't tailor anything. I don't tailor to them.
Oh, okay. Well,
Hang on.
never mind then.
The story is the story.
But as far as like when, we got the reaction from putting my hair on Brent's,
Oh, right, yeah.
things like that, like
That's not
that
the
sort of
story.
things that we perpetuate in the marketing of it all.
Hi.
Did somebody fall down?
You guys are definitely a big part of the story when we are considering things. At least I am.
Not so for me.
Kate's out.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Hi.
So we're gonna go now. We've got some new fans, and I think May's working again.
Hi.
Hi.
Where is she looking?
Hmm?
I know more. Here she goes.
Where are you? I know it's 2 a.m. wherever she is.
Oh, can you hear me? Yeah, I'm in Finland. It's 3 a.m. Yeah. Friend is trying to Skype me about the refrigerator, so I blocked her. Hi.
Hey.
Bye.
Can you hear me? So, my question is actually, mainly for Kate. You wrote some of this during, like, in the middle, like between the 6 episodes and then the rest of it. How much did the actors and their characters affect the actual characters? What did they? Because I read somewhere that you had there are parts of you in those characters, but did you?
Oh,
like,
yeah. So how much?
At least for me, it normally came out in like the peripheral transmedia type stuff.
Yeah.
It's like the fact I was willing and able to, like, interested in like little cartoon type things. That became a small part of Ewan's character. But they usually
sociopathic cartoon.
Well, yeah, but I also wrote cartoons that matched what you had written.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like there was an interplay there. But I can't think of anything massive that was like, well, Chris is interested in this.
Oh, the ice skating.
Oh, okay, ice skating. But again,
Right.
that was more
Yeah.
transmedia. Like we were gonna go on a date.
We went on like a speed date.
Yeah.
For you, I mean, I think I knew how you talked. So the stage directions became like Tony, not angry. Tony, not angry. Tony, smile. So the stage directions changed.
So I'm going to let to Nikita, because she has a very related question, and I'll maybe let her ask another one too. But if you want to go ahead and say your question so they can kind of be touching base on both of them.
Hey, well, I was basically just going to ask the same thing. I was going to ask how much influence you guys had when it came to your Twitter accounts, your characters' Twitter accounts, and how much you ran those.
0.
Yeah, they wouldn't let us do the Twitter. We experimented with it for a minute, and then Kate was like, "No, you guys are terrible at this."
Yeah. There was
It's
one.
hard.
There was one week Kate gave us the logins to the characters, and then we gave it a shot. And
It's hard because they don't know, like there's a specific plan and they might not know exactly what's happening. And it's hard if they're not in the meetings with Dana and myself. It's just because everything is so carefully stitched together. And because the transmedia stuff lives forever.
So who ran the Twitter accounts? Is that you, Kate?
Me. Dana and I would get together for most of the books. 1 or 2 of them I did by myself. And we would just bang out like a month's worth of tweeting and different Tumblrs or whatever. But I would put them all in. We would write them together. I would put them all in. I would do all the random things. Like if there's a news article, I'm like, oh, that person would say that. That's all me. And Dana too.
So is it you and Dana then are kind of the transmedia team?
Yeah. The sittings down together and busting out all the tweets was really a huge part of it. She had some great ideas, and I'm forgetting them. I think at one point she was like, "What do you think about podcasts?" And I was like, yes." So we were already on the same wavelength for that.
of characters.
She helped with the Ocelot call too. That's the other thing I was forgetting. I was like, oh, there's something else. So she did a lot of those too. And then we had Jessica Judge help us out with those. So we had some extra help with some of the like bulkier items that didn't need my like stare. You know, I didn't have to micromanage it, so it was like, take it. But as I don't know, did you even get to answer like how much?
Oh no, I did. We like I said, we gave it a shot.
No, the other one.
No,
was,
how
like,
much you think you influenced your character?
Oh, that seems more. Yeah, that seems more like a question. Like, did you ever, when you were writing, and then after season 1, you were like, oh, Tony does it this way, so I'm gonna do this.
Well, I mean, I knew your voice better, so I'm sure it happened.
It's in a way, it's a tough question to answer, because anytime as an actor you take on a part, so much of it becomes your personal interpretation of that and how you would perform it. So like, there's always going to be a lot of your choices in a character, no matter how it's written.
Yeah.
Just in terms of like what we're personally interested in or whatever. Like
yeah, Andrew's like in Game of Thrones is probably.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally made that happen. That's just probably as far as. The
only other thing I can think of is like if we ever had a chance to like improv a line or two or something like that. Like there were times when there was lines where I'd be like, I would say slightly different board games than what you had written because I was familiar with those games.
Yeah.
Then, so.
Andrew having an affinity for plaid is my fault because season 1 I showed up with my wardrobe and that was a lot of what I was wearing at the time. So I take credit for that.
What about you, Elise?
Take it. You can have that.
Well, I mean, all of us definitely brought our wardrobe to the character. I think it says something that we're all wearing, for the most part, our own stuff. Although, you know, Kate and our costume people would bring pieces in for us and stuff. But I think probably more than the other two, I got a lot of flexibility with Kara because early on, Kate gave me permission to improv, and Josh gave me a lot of permission to mess with Kate as the director. So, you know, I definitely would stick to everything I would do, but I would, you know, experiment a little bit more with, like, you know, like the nose boop when I'm, like, when I have to talk with Andrew. And the one that came out recently with the first one for A Christmas Carol with the chains and everything, that was actually the first thing that we did. So, and that was a lot of me just kind of figuring out how much I could touch her and not have it be, like, super weird, I guess. So I think with Kara, I got, like, obviously there are big differences there, but I do get to bring a lot of exaggerated versions of myself to her because that's just kind of how it worked out. So it's been pretty fun.
Yeah, it's pretty right. So like, it's like, I don't know.
No, I didn't hear that.
And I'm gonna let Nikita has a great kind of follow up to this. I'm gonna let her address that.
It sounded like the actors didn't really know what was coming up for their characters.
I did.
When you said about the Twitter accounts. Oh, well, obviously you did. The other guys didn't forget about what was going on.
Well, I knew about mine because Kate and I sat down and discussed what was going to happen with Kara, so I knew about that and everything, that she was going to be gay and that there was like going to be a talk with it, because obviously, you know, that's the major like thing that's going on in society in general right now to talk about. So she discussed it with me beforehand and how it's going to be handled. But for the guys, I don't know.
I mean, I read the script.
So you filmed everything already. You kind of know what's happening in the episodes. But when your characters tweet, do you know that they're going to be tweeting those things? Like, for instance, Elise today, Kara just tweeted, "Oh."
Oh.
Like, you know that she was going to be tweeting today, or when you
no.
you're like, "Oh, I didn't even know Kara was tweeting."
I know, and sometimes I actually have a hard time not commenting on Kara's tweets because it's just a little too out there if I do that.
Yeah.
But no, we aren't privy to that as much, just because, you know, Kate and Dana did have such a game plan as far as timing and when things would be released, and how, you know, pacing is really important when you're doing transmedia and everything. And I have a full-time job, so a lot of times I'll be like working and I'll kind of look down and I'll get an alert and I'll be like sneak looking at Twitter, seeing what's happening with like my picture on it, which is kind of fun. But yeah, so I think we all know the general big things that was happening with our characters, but like all the little jokes and stuff that they tell on Twitter. A lot of times I'm just as like amused and surprised by them as everybody else is, so that's kind of fun.
I know, like, for me, like, my face is on all of Heather's stuff, and whenever I see Heather tweet, I'm like, wait, I didn't say that, and they're like, oh, no, that's not me.
I 90% agree with what Kara says anyway, because it's generally about pie or the other characters being crazy or like funny math jokes or music, so I'm in regardless.
Why would you use a Last FM account more? I'd like to sole champion of Kara's Last FM account.
It's still going. I just don't. I don't love Last FM. It keeps popping up. It's a little intrusive, but it's there.
It's not intrusive. It's in the background, and like, Kara needs to listen to music more. And I'm like her only friend on Last FM.
I just can't be bothered with the app.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, I'm going to go now to Mary Lee, who's been sitting very patiently, to let her come in and ask her a question.
Hi, guys.
Hey!
So
I know you.
Hey! Yeah, Tumblr.
You're very superior.
Yes. So first, it's not a question. I have a question, but first I had a dream last night about Classic Alice, and Kate, I know you tweeted, you did too.
I did. I had a dream with The Last of Us, and it was terrifying.
So mine, my dream was in a little bit of a different vein. Kara tweeted, as she did this morning, but she tweeted that Alice and Andrew got married, and then the videos came back, and Ewan turned good and started giving Andrew marriage advice. And I was like, okay, my subconscious is just like, everyone gets a happy ending.
Aww, nice.
That's a sweet ending.
Yeah. Were you watching like Say Yes to This Dress or something like that before you went to sleep last night, or?
No, I think my mind just really likes happy endings. So, yeah. But my question, it's a three-parter, but they're all similar. So what was the hardest episode for you to film, like, emotionally, and then the most fun one to film, and then just your favorite overall?
You want to start?
I'll start. I didn't really have too many emotionally difficult scenes as you, but probably the hardest one was actually like my little kind of cameo back at the end there, where I talk about I'm just supposed to talk about Alice, and it was difficult because I wasn't there were a lot of ways to go with it, and I wasn't really and we just talked a lot about like where Ewan would be emotionally at that point after kind of his rise and fall and everything like that. So that one was kind of challenging to like figure out what the right notes were and how to hit them. I think the most fun and also my favorite are both the debate scene. Because,
really?
Yeah, I love that scene. I love doing that so much. I was more prepared for that scene than any other scene.
I know.
We were super jazzed about that one.
We realized during editing, like, you know all your lines, and you're ready. and like everybody else, like, we have to ramp up into it. And so it was like we had to just find where everyone else was matching.
I showed up on set that day because I obviously wasn't in that scene, and no one was happy when I showed up. Everyone was upset.
I was happy. I think I was happy.
It was not a good.
That was like the first scene we shot with me too, wasn't it? Or one of the.
So we were behind. It was the first weekend. That was bad. That was bad.
It was so hot too, with a lot of it. It was hot, and then the lights on top of it, yeah. And then that, yes.
What are yours?
I think emotionally challenged. The hardest one for me was it was a lot of having to watch Ewan and Alice be happy together when I was behind the camera. I was dealing with that. I know that that's weird, but having to watch them be happy was difficult for me just because of being a part of and playing that character. And also, after Ewan spills the beans about Kara and then having to come back and tell Alice that the book I gave her meant nothing, I remember that being a little emotionally draining.
You're such a liar. I'm calling him out right now. The hardest one to film by far was the one where we had to sing.
Oh, absolutely. But she asked emotionally challenging, so I wanted to be honest.
Challenging also.
but yeah, having to sing was really rough, and I thought Kate was kidding for a really long time until I saw the script.
We hoped she was for a really long time.
Yeah, I never want to have to relive that.
Guys, we're doing another Christmas episode.
No.
We are.
There's another episode, something else that I do sing in, and I'm like, I sing better in that than I do in the episode that actually mattered. What was it? I said that to you.
Was it a podcast? I think it was a podcast.
Maybe it was.
Or was it? No. Oh, we haven't released it yet.
Oh, never mind.
Never mind, guys.
Never mind.
He sings again.
What I just said.
Spoiler alert.
Elise, what were yours?
Yeah.
Damn it, Tony.
I'm
Wait,
sorry.
did you even say what your favorite or your most fun was? You just said that one that sucks for you emotionally.
My favorite one was probably it's usually when the four of us are all on screen together. I always have a lot of fun with that. You getting dressed up, and then Pirate. Yeah, dressing up in the Halloween costume was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, you did have so much fun on the
There's three takes.
So excited.
There's 3 takes of that somewhere that I haven't seen where the first note that both you and Josh gave me was, we want Andrew to be like really tipsy. Like we want him to, he had a good time. So like the first 3 takes, I did it pretty drunk. And then they're like, okay, maybe reel it in. Maybe you didn't have that many drinks. So there's 3 takes somewhere that I haven't seen. And
Captain Jack Sparrow.
I had a lot.
You have them if you copied that, right?
Oh, I do?
I think so.
I had a lot of fun shooting that, so yeah.
What are yours, Elise?
I mean, the singing one was definitely the hardest one for me because there were so many lines that the timing was really important, and this is going to be really shocking for you guys because I was so good at it, but I've never really bongoed before, and Tony and I were really nervous about singing because both of us are just kind of weird about that in general, that we just are shy when it comes to singing. Like, you can stick us in front of a camera and not tell us what we're going to say. We'll just have to wing it and we'll be fine. But then we have to carry, like, a tune. All of a sudden, it's, like, a worst-case scenario. It gets really nerve-wracking.
Wait, Elise, how did you get around it?
Just a lot of, like, positivity.
Meditation.
Yeah, Tony was big on meditating. So that was before. Kate found out that Tony and I split a tiny little bottle of Grand Marnier. It was like one of those little pocket ones.
They like did it secretly. I had no idea.
You were like, because Kate is a real singer and we are not. I didn't want to upset your vocal cords.
I had no idea.
It felt shady too, because we were being very sneaky about it in the wardrobe room.
Yeah, I think I even like handed it to him in like a handshake scenario. We were that nerdy that we wanted to make it feel like cooler than it was, probably.
What's your favorite?
That one was fun. I really did like. Well, this might also be because Kim, who did the she did all of our props and set dressing and everything, but the one with the pie was really fun for me. I got to eat pie, and she kept judging how much pie I was eating during every take, and Tony wanted some, so that one was really fun for me. And then the Christmas one where I got to have the chains and stuff, because it was the first one we shot.
Really?
It was the first time Kate and I had been on camera together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that was
So for my hard-out, we did, I think
It
we did all
was epic.
7 the first weekend, I think.
Book 7?
Yeah, sorry, whatever.
Yeah.
I think we did that the first weekend, and that was really hard because we also shot 201 the first day, and so I had to go from like jaunty to not jaunty, and that was really, really difficult. The debate was really hard because those words weren't working for me. I don't know what, like it just.
It was a lot of text. Like,
But they're all a lot of text. I don't know why that particular one.
Because they were long. Like normally, like the way you've written, or most things are written, it's like really quick. It's bantery. It's fast.
Yeah.
Like people don't go on and on and on. Usually.
It was hard.
That scene we had long dialogue.
You know that you wrote the script, right?
No. I was so mad at myself on set. It was really frustrating. And then the ones that I liked the one with the dress with pockets. The dance. I liked the dance a lot. And I like.
Kate was running around the set that day, just showing off her dress to everyone.
Oh,
that was there.
I like it.
And she said that about 25 times.
Wait, did it have pockets?
Yes! Chris, it had
She was
pockets!
delighted by the pockets. That and Jenny was really good at. You really liked your hair that day too, so that was good.
Oh god, I had like Disney princess hair.
You did. Yeah, you kept saying that and twirling.
I'm so happy. Oh, let's go back to that.
Oh.
I think those are. I guess the last episode I liked a lot too.
The last episode we haven't seen yet.
Maybe.
Maybe not. Okay. All right. So I actually have a follow-up question about your hair, Kate, and really everybody. We've had multiple questions. So Lucy on Twitter wants to know, how does Kate get her hair so magical? No, seriously, serious question. My question is really about Kara's hair. Elise, your hair is just always so beautiful and wonderful. Does somebody do your hair on set? Are you guys just hair goddesses? What's up? And then obviously
yeah, we're just hair goddesses.
And then I have a question about Tony's hair, because come on.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Also a hair goddess.
No, but I mean, like, really, like, your hair looks phenomenal on camera. Like, how is this happening?
We had an amazing hair and makeup person helping us to look our best selves. So yeah, I would constantly, like, for the last ones, I'd always be like, you know, very careful not to ruin it when I was leaving, so that I could go to dinner or something and make people think that I could do that. Yeah.
I do that too.
No,
Except you're
really
so tired after shooting all day. You're like, I really want to go out, but it's just so exhausting.
I usually plan a haircut right when I have, like, a big thing I'm going out to. That way it gets all styled.
Yeah, definitely.
So
the one with the dance where I had the crown on, I definitely wore that home and, like, made, I don't know, like, pasta with it because I felt pretty.
About that, I feel like that's a text. I feel like we heard about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I sent you guys selfies of it. Sounds like something I would do. I'm freezing.
And Tony, obviously everybody also really is into your hair. How do you feel about this?
I am honored to know that so many people like my hair.
Oh my God, I forgot about my
I
Twitter.
remember watching it on season 1 and just being like, when did it get that long? I used to be able to put it in a ponytail, and I was like, I'm gonna cut it after that. And then after we shot this season 2, books 2 through 7, I cut it again, and I showed up to the premiere party, and Kate was like, "What is your problem? Like, why are you doing this?" But yeah, and I think we talked about this in our last interview, but the first day I showed up on set, the makeup girl didn't touch my hair at all, and I was like, okay, that's cool. And then I went back to her, and she didn't touch my hair again. I was like, all right. And then the third time, she was very just leaving it, acting as if it was radioactive, wouldn't touch it. And I was like, did you get instructions not to touch my hair? And she's like, yes, Kate has told me that you're very particular, and I'm not to touch your hair.
I think she took it out on me then. Or was this the season 1?
No, this was season 2, because season 1, the makeup girl would do my hair, and then I would just, like, mess it all up, and I would just destroy
the
it.
hair and makeup girl went to town on my hair. Like, I didn't even need hair half the time. She's like, no, we're going to... I think she just wanted more hair to touch.
Yeah,
because she couldn't touch yours.
That's a very real possibility.
She's taking out her pent-up hair frustration from not being able to touch yours.
I think poor Jenny was haired out between Elise and I. We had to change hairstyles every episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, apparently Kara and Alice really have it together for their hairdos when they go out and about, way more than most college students.
I mean, that's actually when we had more breaks on set, because like lighting would be done, and we would just be like hanging out waiting for
eating cheese, waiting for their hair to get done.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever, it was totally worth it. Totally worth it.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and transition over. We brought Kay in, another fan. You probably recognize her name from Twitter. And let her
Hi.
yourself.
Hey.
Hello.
Kate just called you really cute.
She is.
Oh, thanks. I gotcha.
Okay.
My question is if we're ever going to see Lily on the show.
That is the plan, but you never know. Actor schedules and scripts are so fluid, which is why I don't like telling you guys like, hey, this is what book we're going to be doing, because it's very easy for me to be like, nope, and then everybody's angry. So right now, she's in there, but
cool. That's good.
Follow up on that. Are we going to ever see any of the other unseen characters? I guess we already talked about Nathan.
So
Just your way to ask if Heather's going to appear, isn't it?
It's a follow-up question.
Everyone look at this.
Here she is.
I don't know why Heather would Alice is good, but maybe.
So let's go in a different direction, because I feel uncomfortable talking about whether or not I will ever.
Alright, I don't know who else is there.
Are you going to bring back, like, Josh the RA, or any of those other characters that we saw kind of briefly?
Yeah. Okay, so it's actor schedules, unfortunately. Josh the RA was supposed to be back for this season, but he got hooked up and we couldn't get him, so we kind of wrote him out and moved past it, and there's no organic reason for him to really be there, I think.
Actually, he's, I'm going to brag about him a little bit. He's in South Carolina shooting for AMC.
I'm going to pause for a second. Kate, I think that your feed is actually getting there's an echo now.
Is it? Should I mute?
Well, I'm not sure. Somebody else say something.
Yeah, it was her. Sorry, Kay.
Sorry, Kay.
He was cool.
Continue.
Horrible. He's booking like great stuff on AMC and kind of moving on up, so we just can't get him.
Who was this?
He was on last season.
He's in season 1.
Yeah.
Oh.
He was the RA, and he was great. He was like one of those runaway characters, like Nathan. But we can't be like, turn down that high-paying TV job and come do a web series. It's just not in the cards. So I'm open, but only if they organically fit in the script and if we can get them.
And Kay actually has a good follow-up. I'm going to let her, if she can get her sound working.
Okay. Hopefully this will be okay. Yeah, are we going to have any more guest stars, kind of like the Approved people that came, like of other web series and future books? Because that was pretty cool.
Well, if they're LA local and we have the cameo space, like if we, first of all, actually, that is a pain in the ass to organize. trying to get 15 actors in one spot for X amount of time and be really respectful because, they're doing this out of the goodness of their hearts or whatever, is really hard. That was our first day, and it was a stressful day. And
but I found out that I live in the same apartment complex as
oh,
Joanna.
you do?
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
that's great!
Like, we could carpool.
That's awesome. That's where a little kid was like, "Are you Anna from Frozen?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am, little kid."
Weird.
No, so yeah, it's just a matter of like, can we grab them? Will they be on it? Do they want to do it? Do I need them? Because last time we had all this space for all of those cameos while we were doing the interviews. Next time, right now, we don't necessarily need that. So I have written parts for people that you haven't seen yet. So it's possible that we could get someone like web series friendly, but it's not necessary. Like you didn't know who any of us were, So I don't know. Up in the air. Open to whatevs.
Awesome. Well, gonna shoot out just a quick reminder that if anybody wants to join, don't forget #joinAlice, and you can come in and ask these fun questions, hang out with these cool people. I'm going to go back over to some of the Twitter and YouTube comment questions we've gotten in. One thing, and this was a follow-up from like ages ago, but I like the question. Besides, the belly button was kind of like a story that had happened, are there other things that are happening to either Alice or the other characters that reflect events that have happened in your own life as well?
Oh, I'm sure.
Particular that stand out?
Yeah, it's weird. Like, okay, I wasn't going to tell you guys this, but I, live my life according to classic novels, so it's super weird that this is no, I don't know. I'm trying to go through each episode and stalling for time with a bad joke.
No, but you know, Kara's whole storyline was personally important to you.
It's personally important, but it hasn't happened to me, and it didn't happen
it's not from life.
Yeah.
That's it. Your brother's never had an experience like that.
No.
I did actually study with a film. Graduated with a film degree. So
that was just.
That just
happened. So I'm sure I know the answer is yes, and I just can't remember any of the words that I've written to tell you which stories are real.
Well, you can sit and ponder and come back to it.
You guys ask questions for them, and I'll think.
Okay. Well, I have a follow-up for Elise. You mentioned that you have a full-time job, so somebody wants to know if you're willing to share what you do, and do you have a hard time balancing that with your acting and auditioning and shooting?
I do, definitely. It's hard. I used to have a lot more flexible gig where I could audition and all that kind of stuff a lot more. And now I'm working, I have an office type of job where I do payroll and I do a lot of stuff that's pretty that side of the brain. So for me at this point, acting is very much an outlet and something that, you just have to schedule a lot better. I have a shoot Monday night after work that I'm doing for another project, and a lot of weekend meetings and stuff like that. So it's a lot harder. There are a lot more balls in the air to juggle. But yeah, that's just kind of where I am right now. I got tired of restaurants. Restaurants were hard work for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anyone else want to talk? Since we're on the topic of jobs, Tony, you used to work at the fencing. I know you don't do that anymore. Anybody else want to talk about their?
Yeah.
I don't want to shatter your illusion that we're super successful.
I used to teach fencing at a fencing studio in Burbank. I still work there under a different capacity. We do kids' birthday parties. We do sword fighting events. So we show up and we'll dress up as Jedis or ninjas or knights, and we'll come crash the party and have a big sword fight for the kid. And it's a lot of fun. We do it on the weekends.
They don't know you're gonna be there.
Sometimes they don't. So the parents book them, and then sometimes the kids know.
Dude, if a freaking ninja showed up to my birthday party, I would lose lose my mind and cry. I would be so terrified.
And that response has happened
I
several
just
times.
would run away. Like, today, if you did this today, I would freak out, cry, and not be able to breathe anymore. Like, I would just be so afraid.
I've had that happen. I've had that happen
Ugh.
a couple of times.
Don't you feel bad? Like, why would anyone do? Oh man,
No, because the kids eventually come around.
I would never come around, Tony.
You can come to my birthday dressed as a ninja, Tony. I will not cry or shut down. I'll just high-five you a lot, probably.
I would be happy to. I would be happy to.
Thank you. Thank you.
When I've had day jobs since I moved to LA, I've only done freelance writing. So whether that was like, I mean, in different capacities, it's kind of boring. But the most exciting one I had was doing some social media for a comic book company, a small boutique studio, not a publisher, that made comics. I mostly just ran their Twitter for one specific thing. But actually, since I got laid off from that gig in August, I've only been acting, and it's been racking up a lot of credit card debt. Is really what it is. But it's slowly getting to the point where I'm putting myself a little bit with just acting. So I fully expect to have to get another day gig at some point in the next year. But for now, I'm just trying to ride this out as long as possible.
Fun.
I'm having fun reading the YouTube comments right now. Should I not be doing that? Sorry, Erin.
Oh, you can
never read the comments.
Like to. If there's anything that you
the Farissa 2020, how much pie could a pie eater eat if a pie eater could eat pie?
How would you even be a pie eater if you couldn't eat pie in the first place?
One of the comments.
Chris is not. He's upset about the accuracy.
It's an illogical rhyme.
Chris, it's a wonderful rhyme, and you're just jealous that you don't have more pastries to eat on camera.
How could you even call somebody a pie eater if they couldn't eat? Like, how much pie could a pie eater eat if a pie eater could eat pie? How are you a pie eater if you can't eat pie? Of course they can't. They could eat pie.
Somebody just brush his hair. He's gonna be okay.
Chris, you're thinking too hard.
You see my point at all?
I want to go down this road with you.
Erin wants your attention.
Okay, so anyway, another kind of frequent comment we've had is, Kate, several of your cats have been on screen. So we have, oh, you have a cat, or do you have a cat?
You have a cat.
From people.
No, what cat? You're hallucinating.
Girls don't have any pets right now. But yeah, no, I've got some cats.
They're very cute. Popping in and making things happen.
Classic malice was the thing.
Stop.
Well, I'm going to go. We actually have a question that two different people have asked separately. This is kind of like winging into a little off show and just into kind of fun, random life stuff. What's the best advice you've ever been given?
At my high school graduation.
Really?
No, for real. At my high school graduation ceremony, my best friend Dylan, he had we had the same class president from the time we were like 5th grade, whenever they started doing it, until 11th grade. And my friend Dylan ran for senior year as a joke because he just wanted a stage to make a funny speech. But high school politics are popularity contests, and everyone laughed at his speech, so they all voted for him. He's like, shit, I don't know what I'm doing. And so he just spent the entire year just like passing the buck to the vice president, but he was actually really excited to give the speech at graduation. And he got in a lot of trouble for this. But he ended his speech by saying, I'm going to give you all the same advice my father gave me the first time he took me to a urinal. Keep your chin up and your eyes straight ahead. And that's the best advice anyone's ever given me. No, not really, but that's my favorite advice anyone's ever given me. Just because of how they gave it to me.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
Anyone else?
Elise, what do you have?
I do have one actually. When I was really, I went to acting school, and it's a big life commitment deciding that you want to do this, and there are a lot of sacrifices that go along with it that you have to accept and stuff, and it can be scary. And I think I talked it to death. And my mother is a very logical, very intelligent, very supportive person, but she didn't really want me to try to be an actor because it's again, a lot of sacrificing and a lot of, you don't know what's going to happen. You can be as talented as you want to be, but there are a lot of factors that are out of your control. And I knew that, and talking about it to death, my mother eventually just was exasperated with me and was like, you need to stop talking so much about doing something and just do it if you're going to do it. And I think that can reach out to like every area of life. If you want to learn something, or if you want to go somewhere, or if you want to romantically pursue somebody, and just kind of that not regretting thing, like you should just try. If it's something that you want so much, you should just try. Yeah.
That's a good one. No one else laughed.
Somebody else gave advice in my high school.
No!
Their graduation. They quoted Winston Churchill, but in a Rhode Island accent. The guy was, the district superintendent said, never, never, never give up.
Never.
Never, never.
That's great.
Yeah.
Can we bring him in, like, Ewan got amnesia and thinks he's Winston Churchill and he only talks like that? Because I would love that storyline.
That is a way to get Ewan back in the show.
Huh?
Yeah, exactly. Amnesia. Excellent plot device.
Ewan's never going to give you up, never going to let you down, never going to run around desert you.
No.
Making Ewan roll, everyone.
Yeah. That, like, no, but, like, amnesia, that works on me, but you'll all remember the terrible things I've done. It's
That's not really what we're doing, Chris, so don't worry about it.
Oh. I just like the flaws in other people's jokes, I guess. I like my character.
So, Kate or Tony, any...
Oh, I like Elise's knowing a little bit. Advice? I get a lot of advice.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've received a lot of great advice over the years. I think something that sticks out is a book. It's funny, I can't remember any of the commencement speeches that I got.
Oh, I deliberately blocked that shit out.
But,
mine were entertaining.
So
not always intentionally.
My parents gave me a book. I can't remember the book now when I graduated high school. And then there was just a little excerpt, and it said, I am where I choose to be. And I took that to heart for a really long time. And I think as far as my favorite piece of advice, that's sort of one that's been around in my life for some time now. So. Also, if you ever played Assassin's Creed,
I have.
They say that nothing is true and everything is permitted, and I also live my life by the Assassin's Creed motto.
I don't like that at all. That's horrible.
So,
that's terrible advice.
Now you know more about me.
Yeah.
That explains so much, though, but that's horrible.
No, but if nothing's true, then everything isn't permitted.
Everything is permitted.
No, but it wouldn't be because it's
nothing
not
is true.
But nothing is true.
Right.
So everything is not
everything
permitted.
is permitted.
It depends on how you define the.
It's like the sentence, like, this sentence is a
You're
lie.
going to stop them, their brains are going to explode.
True.
Yeah.
Right.
Or the next sentence is a lie, the previous sentence is true.
It can get very philosophical.
Unset with us, yeah.
Okay,
that's why I thought twice about sharing my Assassin's Creed motto with you guys.
It's a unique life philosophy, Tony. I hope that works out for you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I am going to go a couple of things. One, if you want to come into the green room, there's nobody in there right now, so you're welcome to tweet join Alice, and we'll let you in. And you can come in and ask questions. Since there is nobody in there, I'm going to kind of begin to start letting some of the people who are still hanging with us ask a second question, which means that if you are jealous and you want to come in and ask a question, do that. Do the thing. Follow us on Twitter and come in and join us. But I know there are a lot of you watching who, for whatever reason, just don't want to be on camera, which is cool, and I am looking at those replies. And one of the things that I've had a couple of follow-ups from about your fencing, Tony, Gemma wants to know how you got involved with fencing, and then Deborah Jasmine thinks that there should be some fencing in the next several books featured, seeing as Tony knows how to fence.
No one else knows how.
Well, but Tony knows how.
Tony,
you want to talk about your fencing?
I'll fence myself in the
just
mirror.
in the background. Just like a fencing scene with you in the background while I'm talking to camera for no reason.
it would be fun to teach Kate on camera how to fence. I would enjoy doing that.
I know you did.
I want to learn.
Do it. Yeah, Elise is
Sounds
in.
expensive.
I completely fell into it when I moved out to LA. We get casting breakdowns. You casting breakdowns as an actor, and I found a casting breakdown for people that are good with kids and look like Jedi Masters. And so I went in. I went into this audition and found out that what it was is it was a fencing studio that was hiring people to dress up in Jedi robes and teach kids age 5 to 8 basic fencing skills using the universe of Star Wars and teaching them discipline and footwork and things like that. So I ended up getting that job, and I played Qui-Gon Jinn for a couple months before they hired me on to do the parties on the weekend. And then the owner of the studio was gracious enough, Tim Wesky, to kind of take me under his wing and teach me all about fencing. And so I learned really quickly from him. In like 6 months, we did a bunch of privates. He would have me teach fencing to kids age 5 to 13 or so. And then I did that for about a year, and then I taught a little bit of teenagers and some adults. So I really just fell into it and fell in love with it really quickly. I played sports all my life, and so I just really threw myself into it and enjoyed it. And Elise is just like loving this story so much.
Stopped listening.
I'm trying not to sneeze and interrupt your story, sir. Thank you.
So that's a really long-winded answer, but that's how I got into fencing.
Okay. Awesome. Well, there are like so many great questions I still have to pull from. I'm going to go and let Bex, who's been sitting in here being cool and hanging out, go ahead and ask one of her other questions, and then we'll go back to some of the stuff from Twitter and YouTube.
Hello. My other question is, if you guys could be any character from literature in any time period, which one would you be and why?
Okay. Follow-up question.
Like as an actor or in your life?
Yeah.
What is it?
Is it as an actor, or do we have to...
Such an actor question to ask.
As an actor. Oh, I don't know now. No, as an actor.
Let's question. And let's say that we would have to be that person in real life.
Or am I me? Am I still me? But now I've like taken on.
Yeah.
Look what you've done. Look what you've done.
Sorry. I'm sorry. It's very late here.
Oh, I'm kidding.
I know. It's a really good question.
Well, you're picking someone from Game of Thrones.
Besides, however we go with this question, I'm choosing
And
Jon Snow.
I know.
No, but if it's real life, that's really...
That's a boring
place to live.
No, you know what? I would choose Rockstar.
Really?
Yeah, I know it's terrible, but I would.
Why?
Because he dies really young, and he's fighting for what he believes in.
You want to die young?
No, but because he's like...
That's like a very Greek value.
Cute.
You're dead by now.
No,
but
he's fighting for like everything that he believes
but
in.
He's a
and
idiot. I guess alright, yeah.
Yeah.
That's who he wants to be. Let's not judge him.
I would be like an elf in Lord of the Rings. I don't
just like a generic bastard.
No, I don't even want to be a normal one.
You're like he's just gonna hold down the fort and Lothlorien while everybody else goes to fight.
Because I don't want to sail on like every sea in the world with a dwarf named Gimli for the rest of my life. Like that's what they end up doing after those stories. By the way, I don't know if people know this about Legolas and Gimli. They like bromance into the sunset on a boat.
I mean, that's what I hoped happened in my heart.
I just want to live forever and never age.
Yeah.
Yeah. All you need is like. Okay. I don't know why that troubled me so much. Sorry.
I was joking the other day with somebody that like I'm very much like Ben Wyatt from Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
We have similar fears and similar. He's scared of death, and so am I.
Yep.
Who would I be? What character would I be?
It's a really hard question.
It is a really hard question. There's a lot of characters.
I'm also afraid of policemen. Like, police officers.
Yeah.
Female. They have guns.
I'm going to throw this in. We actually had this come in a while, and this is kind of a related topic from Starkid Hope, wanting to know what is one book, so character and then book, that you wish you could live in your everyday lives. So broaden out the scope into
Harry Potter. I want to live in that universe.
Ooh.
I want to live in that universe.
Yeah. Would be cool. But I'd want to be like. I wouldn't want to work for.
No, I would like to find out right now that it's true. Like, I lived in this reality, and then suddenly, sort of like Harry.
Yeah, because then it makes it cooler.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to have like grown up in the wizard world. Like, this is boring. Like, everyone does magic. I'm so tired of it. No, I want to start off like a muggle, and then.
You don't want to be an emo wizard. You want to be okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Harry Potter would be. I read this book when I was a kid. I can't remember the name of it, but it was about this kid who gets like a video game about ancient Egypt, and then he goes into the video game, and suddenly he's actually
that wasn't a book. That's
ancient
Nick Arcade.
Egypt. No, it's a book. There's a book. I don't remember the name of it.
Well, isn't that like? Well, isn't it Castle in the Attic? That was that book that he went into the castle.
Yeah, it was like that. That kind of stuff I love.
No, the King in Yellow. That's what you're talking about,
Is
right?
it? I don't think so.
House of Leaves. No. Okay.
I want to change my answer. I want to say a Targaryen because they get to ride dragons.
You can't be every house, Tony.
I'm changing my answer. I want to be Viserys Targaryen.
No,
Rhaegar Targaryen.
Yeah,
that's how your priorities change so fast. It's like, no, I want to be Robb Stark, like he's fighting for what he believes in, and he's like.
But then I thought.
But on the other hand, I could ride dragons.
These are the conversations I have in my head. All right. What do you want from me?
I was so noble, and then I turned to no, dragons breathe fire.
Guys, come on.
Can
you imagine riding a dragon like being in the sky on the back of a giant beast?
Dude, I can barely ride a horse without freaking out that I'm gonna fall off. I'm gonna ride a dragon, like their wings and.
You just have to learn the movement.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Haven't you seen How to Train Your Dragon?
I knew immediately that was
riding a dragon. I know. I'm sure it's all about like getting into the rhythm of it. But.
Well, now we've made it sexual. So.
There we go.
It's a family show, guys.
This has got away from us.
Any other thoughts on that before?
What books?
You haven't chosen a character yet.
I know.
Would you just decide and choose one?
No.
From literature?
It's Could you give me like a minute and I'll just go peruse my shelves and try to
Okay. Really? Absolutely.
I'm like, that's what I'm looking at. I'm like, what's over there that I'd want to live in? Oh, The Magicians. Yeah. Yeah.
The Magicians. I don't even know what that story is.
It's Harry Potter for grown-ups.
That is cool.
Okay.
Harry Potter. Never mind.
No, you know what I mean? Like.
I was faking outrage.
Okay.
It's a good book.
Did you answer?
No, I didn't. I was gonna say like what is it? With The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, because I'd still get to wear the cool clothes. It'd be medieval, I'd get the swords and all that, but it's not as horrific as Game of Thrones. Plus, I get to walk in and be a queen if I was one of the what's their names. And Prince Caspian seems really hot, so that would be fun. Finally.
You can hop out as well and then hop back in again.
Yeah, I could hop out, be like,
except
World
if
War
you did
II.
loads of time passed.
A lot of issues pop up.
There's a lot of what?
Awesome. The overt messages of theology in that book.
That's all Tolkien.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how every major
like
fantasy thing is. Somebody.
That's correct.
So I'm gonna jet us back into some show stuff because I have a series of questions that I think are very fascinating. It's basically, and maybe this is gonna be for Kate to answer. I'm just going to read them all, and then you can answer as much or as little as you want. Will we ever meet any of Alice's family other than Reagan or Andrew's? Will we ever see the Pritchard parents or Alice's parents? Do they have characters? Do the characters have brothers and sisters, and will we get to see them? If so, how many siblings do they have? Are we going to see Reagan again? What do Alice's parents do? So these are all questions we've gotten from different people, but all kind of about...
Okay, so Alice's family and Andrew's family.
Okay, before you get into that.
Basically. But also, I mean, like, you could talk on Kara or anybody else if you have stuff.
What?
Ewan has a twin brother. He's like
that was suggested on YouTube already.
No, I know. Not really. I actually have to go.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize we were going to be going quite this long, so I just wanted to say bye and thank you to everybody. I had a great time, and I really enjoyed seeing so many of you that I recognize from Twitter or Tumblr or whatever. They're making hearts at me, so I'm making hearts back because I love them. And thank you for watching the show, and thank you for joining in on our hangout and asking questions and making it fun for us and everything like that. And thank you to Erin and for organizing it and running it.
I'm playing you off.
So yeah.
Bye. We'll see you later.
It wasn't that long of an acceptance speech. Okay, bye guys.
It was great to have you, Chris. Kate, Tony, Elise, what's your kind of like time limit? Yeah, we're getting close to about 2 hours running, so just 1 second.
Tony's fine.
Okay. Because, I mean, we can go for, I mean, technically these hangouts can last for as long as 8 hours, apparently, on the live stream. We won't do that. But we can definitely go for another, have a bit.
I'm good as long as whenever they're done, I'm I'm okay.
We'll play by ear, but just
Rachel Regal. Hi, Rachel Regal. Is it Regal or Regal? I'm reading more comments, and she said hi to me.
Yeah, sure.
Hi. That was so 19 minutes ago. Also, I forgot to refresh. Sorry.
Way to go. Okay, so
as far as the question you asked, Alice's family. Actually, let's talk about Kara's family. I had like fleshed kind of early on. Like you've seen her tweet about her parents and stuff like that, and then Andrew's family you've heard about. My family you haven't really heard anything about. Okay. The short answer is I think so right now. You may see more of people, but I don't want to like back myself into a hole and back myself into a corner and wind up like giving you a show and you're like, what? She answered this 6 months ago, and I don't know. So maybe is my answer right now. The draft that I have, yes, those are some characters that we are going to be exploring. Family members. That is.
Okay. So basically you're saying it's spoilers. You can't tell us anything.
Yeah, but I'm willing to say, like, right now, yeah, you're going to see some family. Right now.
Okay.
Yeah. As of this draft. The one that I finished last night. It's so bad.
How many drafts have you gone through?
Well, as I write, I go back and, like, so I'll write, I've got Walden done and then book 9 done. And so, are you all right? Okay. And so I'll be writing and then loop back and like fix things as I'm writing. So it's like one draft, but by the time I'm done with the one draft, it's already been rewritten or edited or whatever. At least sometimes, many times.
Cool. Awesome. Another kind of, again, show thing, again, kind of directed at Kate, that I've been sitting on for a little while. And 2 different questions that are related. One's from Eve and one's from Rachel. How did you come up with a confessional format and idea? And Rachel read that Kate did not write the confessionals, and if so, who did?
Okay. So Lex worked on The Real World. So she brought that kind of element to it, and she and Dina were like, what if we did... I want
to say who Lex is in case people don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Lex Edelman is our executive producer along with me. So she had this idea, and she and Dana kind of got together on set and were like, this is a great idea, and they banged them out. And they were really just like an outline, so the actors would have talking points, and then we would just sort of prattle about them and then move to the next talking point. And they gave me, Dana emailed me the Google document while we were shooting, and I was like, I don't know, yes. So, like, when it came time to edit and weave all of these things together, there were some where I was like, that makes no sense right now, just because some balls got dropped. But we went back through and kind of cleaned it up.
Yeah, we were simultaneously shooting this stuff, too. I mean, the schedule was already booked out, and then we took a garage space. Yeah, and so while she's in there shooting the show,
that's why there's like none of me.
Yeah, I'm in the garage shooting a confessional, and then we switch places, or Elise comes in. Like it was done very quickly. Yeah. And it's a lot of improv, but they would cue us with questions, and that's the confession.
So, as you said, Kate, sometimes it didn't quite fit. Did you ever have to address that? Readjust that?
We had to reshoot. We had to reshoot a few. I
had to reshoot one because I was quote unquote too angry.
Yes. You had to reshoot one for anger issues. Like irrationally angry at Heather.
I was very upset with Heather in one of my confessionals. And so we had to go back and reshoot one of the confessionals where I'm talking about Heather.
So we kind of tucked any problems away that way, or with some clever editing. So.
Okay. So a follow-up question that I've seen a couple of times thrown in like YouTube comments: where do you shoot? Like.
So we shot the first 6 here at my house where I live, but Josh is super allergic to cats, so we shot the next 24 at my friends in Pasadena, but their house completely changed its layout, so they're moving again, so we're going to be shooting the next batch somewhere else. Surprise!
Going along with our plan of fundraising and being able to take the show outside the bedroom.
Yeah, that sounded... Yep. So we're homeless at the moment. We have to find a location.
Cool. I've had a couple of things come in about the logo. Eve wants to know who designed it. She says it's amazing. And somebody, I'm sure as a joke, but maybe not, says that we should set a certain amount that we reach in the Indiegogo for Tony to then get a tattoo of the Classic Islands logo like you promised.
Yes, I vote yes on that.
Yeah. But in a serious question, Kate, where did the logo come from? Who designed it? Idea behind it? Whatever.
Yeah, my best friend Nina is an artist, and her website is ninae.com, and she draws really cute things, and I was like, hey, do you want to draw a cartoon of me? And she said, I was waiting for this day. No, she didn't say that. She was like, yeah, okay, I guess. And then she did. Hi.
If we raise twice the amount of money we're asking for...
You could go higher than that, you idiot. What are you doing?
If we raise $120,000, I will get a Classic Alice tattoo.
Tony, I just want to clarify really fast. Are you sure you want to do this? Because I remember there's a perk that you just promised that you did not.
Yeah. You got all like mad at me.
I was not mad. I was just surprised that it actually ended up working out and that you crowdfunded to crowdfund for a perk.
I was just as surprised, and it was really easy. Like, it happened in a day. I got all the money. It was like so perfect.
As long as
I volunteer.
Where is it going?
Somewhere in my foot or something.
That sounds painful.
You think so?
Isn't the foot like the most painful place?
I've never gotten a tattoo.
I think it's like over bone. Like if the closer it is to a bone.
You get it like on your
Put it
stomach.
on like your fat toe, your big toe. I think your fat toes, your big toe. Sorry.
You're morbidly obese.
Weird.
Well, what we should do is make some temporary tats of it, and then he can just cover his face, his arms
Like
with
a sleeve?
a lot of sleeve of temporary tattoo.
Yeah, like a classic Alice face tattoo. I like that.
Yeah.
I want Nina to draw like a little Andrew, and we can do little classic Alice temporary tattoos for everyone. I love it.
A tattoo of your face on your face.
Yes, I just want when you stick a tattoo of your face on your face, get a tattoo of your own face in the middle of your face, and then walk around with it, please.
I guess people or women do that, right? You guys, their tattoo makeup on, so you don't have to put it on anymore. Guys, I don't know.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I am gonna go. Trying to decide which direction I want to go in because we have a lot of fun stuff. Follow up. We've talked about this a little bit, but since we brought up Harry Potter, I know this has been discussed on the Twitter sometimes, but Hogwarts houses. Well, what Hogwarts houses are you? Is the actual question. And we can.
Like us personally?
Yeah, you personally. We can also throw in characters if we want, because we can do whatever we want.
This is going to turn loud. I might have yelled at them at a bar about this recently. Are they whispering?
We're trying to.
Oh, secret conversation.
I think we've done this before. I don't know why we're having such trouble with it. You're Hufflepuff.
I've been told by several people that I am a Hufflepuff. I don't know what that means.
Have you not read Harry Potter?
I did read Harry. I read the first 4, and then.
And you were like, I know how this ends. Chuck it.
It's like I figured this one out already.
How did you not finish them once you started? That's amazing.
I'm disappointed in you.
Take the Ravenclaw.
No, I don't know that I am. I don't know.
What are you?
I don't. Maybe.
You know what?
Then,
can we just have a quick discussion on like what the 4 houses like? What does each house
represent?
represent?
No problem. Hufflepuff represents lameness.
Okay, got it.
What did you just say?
Got it.
And Slytherin is cunning and like cutthroatness, and Gryffindor is
ambition is the main thing of Slytherin.
Yeah.
I really need to back up. Did you just insult the Hufflepuff house to my face?
I did, I'm sorry.
What I've come
to insult.
Every time I've asked this question, though, it's been the same answer. The Ravenclaw, Gryffindor, and Slytherin are very well-defined houses. No one knows what the hell Hufflepuff is.
Hold on. No.
Hufflepuffs are kind of heart, or kind.
There's a lot to what just happened.
Tony.
They're Hufflepuff and loyal. They're loyal.
Focus on me for a second, Tony.
Yeah, Gryffindor
versus
This is the most exciting this chat has been. Hold on.
Hufflepuff for starters, Tony, is that they Helga Hufflepuff decided to not place limits on who she would choose to teach. So one of the biggest things about Hufflepuff is that we think that anybody is worthy and deserves to be taught, to be accepted, to has purpose and worth. So that's a huge thing about Hufflepuff. And then moving out of that, they're very loyal. They're very focused on like relationships and just living life fully. So they're the people who, if they don't have to get into a fight, aren't going to. But then they're very like protective of their friends and their family. Love to just and have fun. They're very hobbity in that sense, but then they also can become very fierce, become like a mama bear or a honey badger, where if you attack somebody who they care about, they can have claws that will come out, and they are very protective.
I personally think they're the stoners of Hogwarts.
Oh, okay.
They have like an affinity for plants.
Well, I really like Aaron's interpretation and description of the house. And so Aaron, I'm gonna go in with you on this. I'm gonna be a Hufflepuff with you.
Thank you, Tony.
Like, you have to actually have those traits.
Well, where's the sorting hat then? Someone show me the.
It's gonna come
I feel like it's hard to sort.
not real. There's no sorting hat.
What? This whole discussion is leading to nothing?
Yeah, basically.
Probably.
Well, we could talk about Harry Potter forever because I love Harry Potter, but I'm going to move us on again. Nikita has a follow-up question, or another question, that we've also had come in from YouTube and Twitter, so I'm going to let her ask. And I'm interested to see your response, Kate.
Oh, good.
So, everybody wants to know when the next episode is going to be up. If I need to moderate that question, then I would say, is it going to be up before the end of the Indiegogo?
What next episode?
You're just going to shrug at us? That's all we're going to get?
We get another one.
We know you filmed it, Kate!
Well, my question.
Come on, you wouldn't leave us without any resolution, would you? You wouldn't leave us without anything.
Resolute.
Yeah, who told you guys there was another episode?
Kate has from the beginning. The math.
I'm really sorry to disappoint you guys.
No.
Also, 29 episodes.
Kate has said that you guys filmed 24.
Right, we're really bad at counting. So.
Guys, I'm sorry. They put me in charge of counting the episodes, and I'm just not the best with numbers. I apologize.
Ran out of fingers and toes, and it just descended into madness.
I don't believe you for a second.
They did shots before they did the math. It was.
She just said they did get the week wrong for Thanksgiving.
That's true.
We had to hide that.
That's true. Well played.
With transmedia stuff, it was. I was sitting down to tweet with Dana, and I was like, Dana, what happened? Because when I originally wrote the show, remember, I only wrote for Tuesdays. And then suddenly there were Thursdays as well. So now we actually had an episode or piece of video that would go up on Thanksgiving, and suddenly it mattered where we were. So our episode was going to air the week of Thanksgiving, so you could kind of brush it aside like a TV show does, like their Halloween episode a week or two before. But now suddenly it mattered, and I was like, well, Reagan's mom doesn't know what Thanksgiving is. Hum-de-dum.
Which goes to show you guys, we don't
know what we're doing.
So there is no episode that's coming out. I'm sorry.
A likely story. Following up on kind of future things about the show, if you want to tease anything or not. Skate Reels, maybe on Twitter, asks if you want to give us any clues about book 9 and up. I mean, obviously we know 8 will hopefully be Walden.
There are clues on the FAQ of the website.
Well, that's just a cue for book 9. Mm-hmm. Is that all you're going to give us? Do you want to repeat what that clue is?
Listen, I'm with you guys on this. I don't know books 9 and up, so how about I start guessing? At least if you want to start guessing as well, and then Kate will just.
Do you want me to read the clue? I'll read the clue.
Yeah, read the clue, and then if Lisa and I figure it out.
I have guessed, and Kate just laughed at me, so I'm going to assume that means I'm right.
Joke's on you. We love glitter. Ha!
What?
I threatened them with glitter. No dice.
Yeah. Yeah, I threatened Kate repeatedly with glitter.
Responding to all of our secret behind the scenes.
Okay. So your clue is, let's see. Okay. Wait. What's after Walden? We can't tell you that yet, but it's something very combative, very lengthy. We're super stoked about it. It's worth its weight in gold, and it's very overdue.
Oh, I know what it is.
You do not.
I have a good idea.
I have an idea.
Whisper.
Who knows?
Shut up, you knew that.
No, really? Guys, I know what it is.
That's actually not book 9, though. I'll show you the books.
Oh.
How do you know this? I feel like I told you.
Well, we have discussed this at one point or another, but you've never said.
Oh, I'll show you what I'm doing.
Well then, Thanks for
It's guys. It's 50 Shades of Grey. We're really excited about this.
Why does this keep coming up?
Because that's what
No, don't.
Elise looks terrified.
I don't want this.
So upsetting.
Okay.
So many weird situations for Kara to walk into.
Oh. Why?
Well, let's move our brains away from that.
It's actually...
Because you said 50 Shades of Grey, which is a book that has a movie coming out, which reminds me of the podcast, Pins versus Lens. Don't you like my transition here? Questions about that podcast. So, how do you come up with it? And then, my burning question is, do you guys have a script? Do you have an outline? Do you just say, here's the topic and, like, wing it? Because it's, it's impressive.
It depends who's shooting it.
So your first question is, how did we come up with it?
Tony was super jealous of Elise's podcast.
I was super jealous. No, I actually, while we were shooting the show, I was listening to a podcast about, it was a Game of Thrones podcast, and there was one guy who had read the book, and the woman host had seen the show, and she had not read the book, and he had not seen the show, and they would talk about it and compare it. And then I was thinking, oh, whoa, what if Andrew, the film student, and Alice, the lit student, did the exact same thing? And when I brought the idea up to Kate, she was like, perfect, I know exactly where it's going to go. It's going to go right after the Halloween episodes. I was like, awesome. And then I had to actually...
It was already, like, hinted at. Like,
yeah. Like, without missing a beat, Kate was already on board and, like, knew exactly where it would go. And so it just organically, like, happened. And then I realized I actually had to do it, and I had to produce it. And so the very first time we did it, it was Alice in Wonderland, and we watched the movie, and we printed some notes. But for the most part, there's no outline. It's all Kate looking at me and me doing my best to wing it, and then us going on weird tangents. I mean, if you've heard the Robin Hood podcast where she didn't do it with me, that is the saddest thing I've ever done creatively or just in life. Doing a podcast by yourself is the worst thing to do. Which is why I knew that Kara had to be there for Lord of the Rings, because I was not going to do that again.
My favorite part of the podcast is when I just trounce his argument so badly that I give him another argument to try to help him out.
That also, that happened during the Lion King
Like,
podcast. I was so excited to do the Lion King because it's my favorite Disney animated movie. I love it so much, and it just got really personal, and I took it really hard when she destroyed my argument, and I just shut down. I had
this
nothing.
is what he was like.
She had destroyed me so badly that she felt bad, and so. But
I tried to help him out.
Luckily, I edit that podcast as well, so you guys don't have to hear any of that happen.
The weeping, ugly crying sound effect.
Just the stunned, sad crying that I do.
That was the episode where he was like, "Shit, I need to be a little bit prepared."
But then I came back the next week and I was on it.
Awesome. Well, again, relating to podcasts and stuff, what about Kara's podcast? Any behind-the-scenes information on that? How do you choose the music? Whose idea was it to include Carbon Leaf?
Kate is obsessed with Carbon Leaf, and
I super am.
Wrote those because they comment a lot more on Kara's mood throughout the series. So Kate and Dana wrote those a lot more. It was a lot more important for those to be super structured.
I actually, I should also add, Dana and I wrote the first half of them, and then the second half. So it was after Kara was outed. So we didn't need to have such a careful hand on it. We had one of our transmedia workers, Jennifer, popped in, and she wrote those, and I came in and threw a couple of my touches in there, but her music taste is super similar to mine, so it worked out really well. So the second half is written by Jennifer, and the first half was me and Dana, just so that everyone gets credit where credit is due.
Where do you guys just kind of brainstorm and throw out the topic ideas? Do you try to fit it in? You have a few times.
For the ones that I wrote with Dana, they followed the story. Once Kara's story was, once her arc kind of concluded around Halloween, they became more like what's going on in general. So like Thanksgiving, a road trip, when would you listen to music, the gym, I forget what else we have. Stuff like that though, like it became a little bit more open, and she could be a little bit, more just a person outside of this show.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to move. We just had Gemma join us, so I'm going to let her come in and ask her questions and introduce herself. If you have to meet yourself, Gemma.
There we go.
Hi.
Hi.
What are you doing?
Yeah. So my name's actually Meg. I don't know why. I think it's showing up as Gemma because that's like my YouTube name or something. So
yeah, that's a good plus for you.
You're not so pretty.
Yeah. Sorry. So I was just kind of wondering more like what got you into acting, or like what was your first acting experience?
So when I was little, I did ballet, and my mom one day was like, "Do you want to do ballet or do you want to do acting?" And I was like, "Acting." So I went and did that. And I sing, so I did a lot of music. I grew up on the East Coast, so like musicals are a bigger deal, and I did a lot of musicals. And then my parents were like, "What have we done? We should have put her in an activity she was terrible at, and so she wouldn't go and do it forever." Not good things.
My very first acting experience was I was 10, and I was doing a musical for the school I was going to.
You were what?
Yeah, I did musicals when I was a kid, and
what?
And then, well, okay, so this leads to about the age when it was 8th grade, so I must have been like 13. I was the lead in this musical, and of course I'm going through puberty, so my voice is cracking all over the place. And we're doing this dress rehearsal, and there's all these people on stage. There's like a choir of 20 people. There's 6 other actors on stage. And I'm supposed to hit this high note, and there's a good amount of people in the theater for the rehearsal, and I hit the high note at this very big moment in the musical, and my voice cracks, and it was like a movie crack. Like it was ugly. It was real bad, and I stopped, and it was so bad that everyone, like the musical just stopped. Like the person playing the piano stopped playing the piano, and the choir is like busting out laughing. The director is laughing so hard she has to exit the theater just to make me not. You know, like in a movie where like the camera's spinning around and you're seeing everyone laugh at you. That's the experience I had.
I almost do not believe this story.
What?
He told this to me while we were on set, right before we had to sing also, so I'm pretty sure it's true.
No, this is a true story, and this is why I don't sing anymore.
Yeah, that's his traumatic singing experience that Kate made him relive.
Exactly. Thank you, Elise.
No problem. I'm with you, bro.
Yeah. What about you, Elise?
Technically, the first time that I put together that I liked it was when I was like 3, and my mom made me this mouse costume, and she put me into a costume competition, and I figured out that if I wiggled my butt, my tail would move and people would laugh. And I won, and I credit this experience and the attention that I got and the ice cream that I won with wanting to like make me continue down that path. It was really cute. But then after that, I'm a middle child, so I like attention, which helps. And I moved a lot, so my parents put me in a lot of like clubs and stuff like that. So I did a theater. I did a stage a stage show when I was probably 11, maybe, or maybe younger than that. I'm not sure. And I kept wanting to do it after that, and my parents kept like, oh, okay, yeah, just go to school and keep doing it. So I just kind of multitasked and did it that way. Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna.
I end everything what I say with this because it's so quiet.
We're just all listening intently, Kara. Okay, go, Lise. Go to Kara.
You get a tattoo. Aww.
I'm gonna let Marilee ask a question that she had. Here.
Unmute. Okay. So I do have a question again, but first I just wanted to say, hearing y'all talk about like doing your acting, but also like having to work other jobs, especially you, Elise, working a full-time job and then doing your acting at night and on the weekends. It's really inspirational to me because I'm trying to be a ballet dancer, and right now I have to work a full-time job and then do my dance stuff at night on the weekends, and it can be really frustrating.
Gosh, that's so intense.
But to like hear you and like you're doing this super awesome thing that I love, that a lot of people love, and like doing that, but like still kind of being in the same situation as me, it's it's inspirational. So thank you for that. And then my question is, Kate, I have the red dress. Did you get that at ModCloth? And were there any? Were there like? I know you got a lot of the clothes out of your own wardrobes, like Andrew's plaid, but were there any other specific outfits you had to get? Like, I'm assuming Tony doesn't have a pirate costume.
Yeah.
You would be shocked at the costumes that Tony owns, first of all.
We did buy, we spent a couple $100 on wardrobe that we returned most of, but we got a lot of the plaid. We got more plaid. We got just because we like burnt our wardrobes from the last season, there was just nothing left.
We literally took it out back and lit it on fire.
Right, because we didn't want to reuse clothes. So next season, I have no idea what we're gonna do. Like,
yeah, I don't have any clothes left.
Yeah, there's so many clothes. We go through so many clothes.
You should have seen our wardrobe room. Like, it was unreasonable. We broke the racks because we had so much stuff on it because we shot so much material, and Tony was constantly trying to fix it, and it would just keep breaking just because of the weight of everything.
Yeah, we did not have enough clothes racks for that stuff. And a lot of those
that's where the budget is going.
Yeah, a lot of those costumes you see, well, every costume but what? Your costume for Halloween. And
the Christmas stuff.
Oh, and the Christmas stuff is stuff that I borrowed.
I had to buy quite a bit.
Yeah.
My costumes.
Oh, I mean like actually dressing up in the costume.
Oh, yeah, they weren't like costumey costumes except the Halloween one, right? Yeah. And the Christmas sweaters.
What about the Pens versus Lens costumes, the photos for Twitter?
Yeah, Tony, what about those?
That comes from my so like I said, the stuff I do on the weekends, we do a lot of dressing up, so I actually have access to a lot of costumes, and if I don't have them, I work with 25 other people that part of their passion is making these amazing, awesome costumes. So like we had
those Game of Thrones pictures too.
The Game of Thrones pictures, all that is my stuff or my friend's stuff, except for Daenerys Targaryen. And then like the Lord of the Rings picture, that was a friend of mine's Strider outfit. What else?
The one where you look like Middle Earth Jesus.
Middle Earth Jesus, yeah. Oh, the Lion King, the big lion suit is a friend of mine. So we were doing a lot of art. The giant bunny rabbit suit is actually mine. My mother would want, when I was back in Texas, my mother bought it, or she gave it to me because I would play the Easter bunny for the neighborhood kids. So that one actually I do own, and it is terrifying.
Cool. Well, we've also brought in Ariel and Allison to join us. Welcome, guys. I will let Allison go ahead and ask her question.
Okay, so this is a question that applies to you as people and then also your characters. Where is the one place that you and your character would like to travel in the world? It doesn't have to be the same answer for you and your character.
Good question.
I think Alice would be Paris.
Mm-hmm.
Me. I don't know. I really liked Ireland.
Mm.
Okay. Good answer. Good answer. Tony?
Yeah.
Sorry, you just cut out. What did you say?
Oh, I said, what do you have?
Oh, for Kara, I think she would like to go somewhere really, really different and exotic from the norm. So, like, I think somewhere like Morocco would be really interesting to her. Just culturally and colors and all that, music. For me personally, I've actually never been to Europe, so there are a million places I'd love to go there, but London, just, you know, the whole acting thing, I think that's such a important part of what you study as an actor, so I'd really love to go just to England in general. But yeah, London. Am I high-fiving?
I know.
Our English people, that's why. I was like, what's happening?
Yeah.
No, we got high-fives.
You know I'm in London, so come
I
on.
know you do.
I'm in London.
I'm not touching up, I promise. I really feel that way.
I'm in London too. You can come here.
Yeah?
Yeah, Nikita and I are both in London. Like, we found out just now that we were, like, 2 miles away from each other, so...
Woo! So funny.
I wanna
It'd be great.
Elise, let's go for like a summer conservatory program thing there.
It'd be lovely. I love it.
Perfect. Yeah, they've been planning in the chat, like, making a UK Classic Alice meetup. And there's been someone on YouTube.
Can we go?
Let's all go. We also, like, there's fans all over of the show, like all over the country. We've had somebody in the YouTube, Farisa, who's from Costa Rica. So there's, like, everywhere. I'm sure there's people from Brazil, because there always are.
Somebody just said something about they wanted us to do something in Boston. I went to school there, so that's a stronger possibility than almost anywhere else. Yeah.
I want to know if you're planning a museum outing after that. Those treats.
I'm sorry, a what? A museum?
Yeah.
Museum.
I would totally do that. It's on the 31st. They're all free, but like, I don't know how many people in LA are not working / want to. Oh, it's a Saturday, isn't it? So, does anyone want to go to a museum with me?
Never. I might be working.
Man, the Patriots. Speaking of New England, the Patriots murdered the Colts today.
Yes.
I think Andrew would go somewhere that would really piss his parents off. And would do it.
Oh well.
He would do it like unexpectedly, and he probably has the money to go somewhere like Brazil and just disappear.
Why would Brazil piss his parents off? Like, what about Brazil makes you think his parents would be like,
I don't know. I feel like these, the uppity, like, New England types would be
just
like,
Brazil?
South America is off limits to you, Andrew. And you'd be like, I'm going. So, I think that's what he would do. As far as where I would like to go, I would love to go to London. I actually have been thinking about going there to study for a couple of months. But,
That's what I'm doing.
Really?
Yeah, next spring I'm gonna be in London for 3 months. I'm so excited.
That's amazing. Good for you.
I finally get to meet you. So
I know. It's gonna be awesome.
And I get to meet you next week. Everyone come to London.
Where will you be studying?
Well, actually, it's like our professors come over with us, so it kind of sucks. We don't get to actually be at a university in London, but I'll just be taking classes with my professors there.
That's awesome.
I'm excited because we're also doing we're spending, I think, spring break in Paris, and then afterwards, my whole family is coming over, and we're going to spend a week in Ireland. So it's going to be awesome.
I went to Ireland and London a few years ago, and I really enjoyed the cloud cover. Thought that was pleasant.
Yeah. I remember you telling me a creepy story on Twitter about some guy in Hyde Park sometime last year or something.
Guy in Hyde Park. Until very recently, this was the sketchiest, scariest thing that's ever happened to me. And he walked across the park toward me, and I've never walked faster toward light in my life.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and he was creepy, walking toward me, and then I paused and turned around. He was definitely following me, so I was just kind of lining out of the... Yeah.
Okay, I'm basically next door to Hyde Park, right now. My flat is so close.
Don't go outside.
I'm just staying here.
Because I remember I tweeted about being in Hyde Park, and then Kate sent me this really creepy story about when she was in Hyde Park, and I was just like, thanks for telling me this now. You could have waited till I got home or something.
There's one single person that's a little bit sketchy.
I walk through it to work and back every day.
I was in the middle of Hyde Park when I was tweeting, and you were like, "Yeah, I met this really creepy guy when I was there." I was like, "Thanks, thank you."
Well, we've got people in the YouTube talking about organizing East Coast meetups and all this stuff. So I think all the fans of the show should really take initiative and see if they can find other fans in their area and meet up. So that would be fun.
Or if you guys have money to travel, just donate it to the Indiegogo.
For that.
Wow.
Tony, I've had a couple people want to follow up with what musical it was.
Oh, yeah.
Story.
I went to a small private Christian school, and it was called Christian Survivor. It was very...
I got so excited for a second, Tony, because I know a lot of really hardcore Christian children's musicals. Because my mother did children's version of it, I'm like, it's fat, Joshua, fat. Anyway, I don't know that one though, so.
Yeah, it was. It came out right when Survivor, the show, reality TV show, was super popular, and so it was this island where I played the host of the show, and the other actors were contestants in Christianity. This is another chapter of my life.
What did I miss?
Dragon's this is not what I was expecting.
Yeah, what?
So it wasn't. That's the worst part about the story. It wasn't even like a musical everyone knows or a well-known cool musical. I was just some strange Christian musical that I did.
You're really proud of it.
I hope my parents aren't watching. Love you, Mom and Dad.
Your mom was watching.
Yeah, my mother was watching. She texted me not to get a tattoo. But I'm sorry, Mom. If we raise $120,000, I have to keep my
We're
word.
slaves to the machine at this point, Mama Noto.
All right. I'm gonna let Kay had a another question she wanted to ask. We're gonna let her do that, and we're gonna kind of start asking the last few questions here. So I'm reading over to see what highlights are still waiting to be asked. Okay.
Okay. Hi. First of all, let me get some water real quick.
What?
Wait, I want. Nice.
Yeah.
Do it again. Do it again.
Do it again. Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I want one.
Okay, so question. Imagine if Classic Alice does like a 30-year flash forward. Who would you cast yourself, like your characters? Like anyone, any actor, dead or alive? Go.
Meryl Streep. Took it.
That's so good. I was hoping you would say that. I really think Chris would be Carrie Elwes.
I saw that.
I could see it. I could see it.
I don't know. I'm because I have to pick people who look like me, and that's a little tricky.
Yeah.
My mom. I don't know. I don't know who looks like me.
I don't know. I have 3 different ones that I want to say right now. I'm trying to choose the best one.
Whisper.
No, because you're gonna laugh.
I
say all of them.
No,
of course.
Bradley Cooper.
No.
Just heard all of those.
You wish on all of those. I can hear you.
Bradley Cooper. You're really bad at whispering.
Tony, there's a difference between a whisper and a stage whisper.
I know. Guys, all my choices are super bad for a lot of different reasons. I'm gonna have to say Brad Pitt for sure.
For sure. He's like, I'm so torn, but for sure.
But for sure.
Wow. All right. Can I just choose a crazy choice too that has nothing to do with anything? Dame Helen Mirren. Yeah. I get old really fast, but I love it.
Watch that show.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd watch that show easy.
Well, ours are much older than yours, so it doesn't make sense.
A lot of things don't make sense about Brad.
Oh, look at how happy he is. Oh, don't stop.
Oh. That's a great question. Thank you for asking that.
Awesome. Kind of as we are looking towards the end, we had a couple of questions come in. One was from ACW Nerdfighter on Twitter, who wants to know if you have any advice for promoting a new web series.
Annoy the shit out of everyone.
Hire Kate.
No. I don't know, man. How did we had, you get like 1 or 2 people who are respected in the community, like excited about you, and it just snowballs from there. Like, it's just about getting into the right places. Like, I know it bugs people, but you know, we're so small, so we kind of have to do it. We are in the Tumblr tags for other shows. We are, you know, you piggyback off the hashtags and stuff, and it's not necessarily the, you know, I don't know. It seems a little underhanded, and maybe it is, but like, you gotta do what you gotta do, and if people are annoyed by it, they can just block it. So, there you go.
Find your niche market, I would say. Know who you're making this for, and reach out to them based on hashtags. Like she said, like, learn who is big in the community of the people that you're trying to pitch to, and cater to them in a lot of ways as far as trying to talk to them and make them see your stuff.
Find people with some reach, like bloggers and stuff like that, who are part of that world already, and kind of try to hook in with them. You know, we don't have a YouTube famous person on our show, really. We don't have someone producing our show other than me and Lex and Christina. So, you know, you kind of just do what you need to do. And if you've got a good product, hopefully to the majority of people, it doesn't matter. You're always going to piss someone off.
Bye.
Yeah.
Oh, bye.
It's cool. I'm going to let Ariel come in and ask a question as well. Ariel?
Hi. So
Hey.
my question is just, are there any projects that you're working on that you just want to share with the fans out there who are watching? Since we're talking about promotion.
Very cool.
What do you got? Yeah, I know Kate spends a lot of her time on this, but you're on other stuff.
Oh, yeah, I am. Sorry. I'm on Social Medium, which is another YouTube show, and it's got Isaac's in it from Emma. And I don't know, like things just sort of started picking back up, so it's almost pilot season. We'll be auditioning, hopefully, quite a bit. And I've had a call back this week, and like, I don't know, there's a lot of like, I don't know, maybe, and we never really know like what's gonna fly, what's not gonna fly. But the Social Medium thing is up. There are 6 episodes right now, and they should be coming back fairly soon.
As far as I am concerned, I am also in a YouTube show called Fight Like the Movies. It's with the people that I work with at Swordplay. The host and creator of the show, TJ Sensula, is a coworker of mine, and he casts his friends to recreate fights for movies like 300 and Lord of the Rings and all that fun stuff. So I'm in like the Gladiator episode and the Game of Thrones episode. So it's a fun show. It's a lot about learning stage combat. As there's a cat being petted next to me.
He's really, really happy.
And then we do various other stuff with other YouTubers. I do some stuff with Shauna Malcolm, who is a big YouTuber. And as far as other projects, that's all I'm doing right now.
Cool. Elise? Anything? Oh, Elise might have disappeared.
Is Elise gone?
Well, she just got frozen, I think. Yes. Yes, we will.
Someone just asked a question.
Yeah, so hold on. So I'm gonna let Chelsea ask this question, Kate.
Hold on, Aaron. I saw it.
I have a system here. So
wait, Elise didn't go.
Okay, hold on. So I'm gonna let Elise answer the question. Then we'll move on to the other question, Kate, that you're not supposed to publicly announce. It's in my private chat.
I'm sorry. All right.
You're ruining everything.
Get it together, Heather.
That's how it was. That's how that episode was. He was so angry at you.
Okay, Elise, any projects coming up that you are doing? Anything you want to talk about for future? Anything you want to plug?
Nope.
Elise.
You're just totally...
Can she hear us?
Well, I'm just moving on now, Elise.
Because she has no sound.
Oh.
Okay. Well, we'll move on for time's sake then to Chelsea's question as Elise figures herself out.
Oh, great.
Chelsea.
Hi, guys. How are you doing? So I really want the puppet theater perk. I've been saving up for it. I was wondering, would you guys be willing to do all of Game of Thrones if I purchased it?
A huge amount of books. Didn't the theater one book, right?
Would I be willing? If you buy that perk, I will recreate.
And able, willing and able.
I think we'd have to probably scale it to reasonable, like, because it's going to be 2 minutes, you know? It's going to be, otherwise people, you know, disappear. They'll be like, no, it's too long.
I'm excited to see what can happen there.
No, you could do like 10-part series of like puppet theater.
That would be 10 perks, though, wouldn't it? Just to be fair to everybody, you know, like.
But it's like, I don't know, $250. Come on. Bag real buck.
Looking at it, I think all of Game of Thrones might be a little bit mammoth.
I'm down.
Yeah, see? Tony wants to do
Right.
it. Wants to do all of Game of Thrones.
Tony says so. I'm just kidding. But
not my show.
I requested chapter.
It's so much.
I'm in. All right. You buy it, I'll make it.
So on this note,
This is guarantee on the hangout.
as we're kind of wrapping up, because I want to respect, you guys have been awesome. It's been like 2.5 hours, and I love you. You're great. Is there anything else, Kate, that you want to talk about regarding the Indiegogo, regarding funding? I'm sure that, right now we're sitting, what's the number right now? I don't even know.
So like 13,100.
So kind of the big question and kind of the hard question, we're all hoping that we're going to hit 60,000. We all want the show to be able to be made the way you want to make it. What's the situation we're looking at, if we only get to like 20 or something like that? Like, what do you want to talk into any of that? Make any for why?
Obviously, if we hit 20, we're not going to be like, thanks guys, see you later, we didn't make it. So what winds up happening, if we don't make our goal, Indiegogo takes a much larger chunk. So let's say if we make 13, that's where we are now. If we made 13, we would only really see like 8 to 10 of it. So our setup would be exactly what you've already seen. We wouldn't be able to do Walden. Walden would probably just get cut. So we would jump right to book 9, and we would have one less book. We'd have to scale the episodes down because right now I'm writing for 9 days. So we would only be able to do 6 like we did last time. We would probably actually really only be able to do 4 because we have to pay Josh. So like everything would scale back. Like all the people who didn't get paid last time do have to get paid. So it would be even less than what you were expecting because we wouldn't be able to call in favors again.
It's also because now it's like she talks about calling favors. Like having 10,000 subscribers is awesome, but now you can't be like, hey guys, you want to come over and film this thing for YouTube and not get paid for it? Like it sort of comes with an expectation that now I'm going to work on the show. People want to be paid for their time, and they deserve it.
And
absolutely.
So, if we don't make 60, if we don't make 60, I would expect Walden can't happen, and I would expect, which sucks because it's like such a cute art. But yeah, and I don't even know if book 9 can really kind of go. I don't know what we would do with that. Book 10 can't happen. Basically, I'd have to probably rewrite. It would also take longer to get it to you because I'd have to rewrite so much. So, yeah. Not to sound doomsday about it, but it would really not be good to miss that. So hopefully we get there.
Yeah, I hope so too. I really.
And 60 again. Like I don't know if you guys know this, but our working budget that we got was 75. So we're already cutting $15,000 of corners plus the Indiegogo fees. So I know the number sounds really, really high, but once you get what you've raised, it's actually significantly less than what it looks like. So just so everyone's on the same page. I don't know what that voice is.
I don't know what it is.
It's sort of like a Leo 1930s.
Hey, what can we, as your fans, as your viewers, what more can we be doing to help the success?
You guys have been like super great. Just keep sharing and bugging people, and if blog, you guys are so clicked into the fan community already. Like if bloggers, if Tumblr-y and what, if and people with influence, pop in and just say hey, and I know you're busy, whatever. Like check out this thing. We really love it. We think you would too. Which of course we're doing as well. But if you know someone, reaching out to them is a really important way to help. We have extra things coming down. Like we have a book giveaway, two book giveaways with more than one book signed by the author, and they're big authors, you guys. It's like a cool, really awesome thing. So hopefully that pumps the number up a little bit, and we've got lots of new perks, and I think I may bite the bullet and offer some more one-on-ones with me since those sold out like the first day.
Still working on mine, guys. Still working on mine.
I heard it was really close, Tony.
It was done. You can't change the title.
You got 4 out of 5.
We have a lot of fun. Like our campaign is actually kind of fun. Like we've got 2 parties. Aaron's hosting a party, and Christina's hosting a party where like 30% of the funds go to the show, and so it's hopefully fun and interactive, and not just like, hey guys, we got a thing.
Yeah. Got a lot coming up.
Yeah, and statistically speaking,
my cash was
the second best way to get people to go to Indiegogo is through Facebook. So if you guys share it on your walls, if you want to take the time and just write a couple of personal messages to people and just include the link. Any of that good stuff. I mean, I'm doing it through my own Facebook. If you guys do it that way, it's super easy for people to just say, you love the show, I want to see what it's about, and then if they get hooked, they get hooked.
Yeah. I know, like, I've sent out emails to, like, random parents I grew up with, like, hey, you don't know this show, but I love it. Would you consider just looking into it, helping donate the cause?
Like, has, like, a rich uncle who's
a rich uncle. Well, and the great thing that you have going for you with this show is that it does have an educational aspect. So a lot of times when I'm going to people who like don't understand what web series or transmedia works are, I'm like, hey, do you like promoting reading and reading education and critical analysis of literature? You should help support it. So you kind of trick people.
Absolutely. That's completely true too. It's not untrue to say that.
And if you happen to just like have a cave full of gold coins, we could use it. It's not a cave, is it?
If you know,
it's a safe full of.
It's a vault. You're right.
Yeah.
If you know Scrooge McDuck, let us know his contact info.
We'll get on that.
Yeah. I mean, like once you've donated, it's tough because it's like, okay, now you guys are the ones that already want to like help, so just spreading the word and really getting it out there is kind of the best way to do it. Hi, buddy.
Awesome.
I was really into this.
Well, this has been lovely. I've had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had fun.
Absolutely.
Tony, Elise, and Chris, and Josh.
Chris bailed.
And I hope everybody who's been watching the stream, everybody's gotten to come in, enjoyed it. I always love hosting these Q&As. They're always a great time, and I appreciate you guys, particularly just dedicating so much out of your schedule, because I know to sit, I mean, this is like 2.5 hours, and that's very generous of your time. And
it's so generous of you guys to also take time and sit with us and talk to us and donate and ask how you can help. Like, that's also very generous. So absolutely.
Let's just all compliment each other for the while.
Okay.
Great. Anything else you want to close with, Kate, before we just end things?
No.
Okay.
I don't think I have anything. When I have nothing.
Yeah. Well, if you don't know where the link is, which I'd be surprised if you're watching this, but if you do egg.me/SaveAlice, you can get to their campaign. There's a lot of other really great milestones. So, I said at the beginning, this is the 10K milestone, this hangout is. So we're 7,000 away from getting the second milestone, which has to do with Kara. Which Kara's like my favorite character of all time ever. So I really want us to get there soon because I wanna start seeing some of these milestones. So it's in everybody's benefit to get us to these milestones faster so we can get all these fun extra.
Yeah.
Some good ones coming.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and end the broadcast. Thanks, everybody, for viewing. If you have any questions or follow-up responses about this hangout, you can tweet me at Aaron Wirt. You can tweet the Seahorses at the Seahorses. Whatever. I'd love to interact. If you have any concerns or questions, or if you want to get one of these set up for your own web series, let me know. Awesome. Yeah. And I'll see you guys next time.
Bye.